coffee, man. Hello! Welcome to the Stream of Chaos. We are Chaosium's official live play channel and we play Call of Cthulhu. Now, before we jump into tonight's session, we made a couple of changes to the stream, which I just want to let you know about. There's a sort of currency thing on Twitch, which lets you spend points that you accrue by watching the channel, and they can have an effect on the game. So we've implemented a few of them, and let's consider this the test stream. So if you want to try something broken that doesn't work, now's the time to do so. So I'll give a quick summary. There's First Aid, which is going to let you heal our characters. Lucky number 7, which restores some luck. Helping Hand, which I think gives them a bonus die on a single roll. Push Our Luck, which I might come back to. Emergency Treatment, which heals them fully, or another creature in the fight, so feel free to give that to me. And Initiate Next Phase, which let's not talk about and let's not acknowledge. Now, Push Our Luck, I'm just going to come back to. For that one, you specify a player, you specify a skill, and the next time they fail that skill's roll, they have to push it. So if you know Edie needs to go to the library to do some research, put it on library use, and let's see what awful things happen. But anyway, let's meet our cast. Jim, kick us off.
Sure, I am Jim. I am playing José Castillo, and when the stream was last on, I was frantically trying to stop an old man from having a heart attack. He became very excited at the prospect of reading a lot of books.
Yeah!
It happens. Hey, I'm Jackson. I'm playing William Vanderven. When he was last on stream, he was feeding an ancient Latin scroll to his computer in order to get it translated faster. The computer may or may not be self-aware and have access to eldritch magic.
Hi, I'm Rachael. I am playing Edie Cheong. Last time we saw me on stream, I nearly gave an old man a heart attack because I mentioned one too many cool ancient civilizations. I don't know what his deal is. He needs to sit down.
Hey, I'm Daniel. I'm playing Detective Nick DeMartino. And last time I was on stream, I was reading a book that was slowly driving me mad, but giving me knowledge about the Cthulhu mythos. So, come see, come sa.
Yeah, bit of column A, bit of column B. And lastly, I'm Dave Naylor. I'm the Keeper of Arcane Lore, and I don't take enough notes, so Jamie's going to be recapping the last session quickly.
Oh, gee, wow. Well, we are on the trail of missing person, Brendan Sterling. We have tracked his movements all the way to a strange occultist called Ferdinand Argus. When we tried to investigate Argus, we were cast into an alternate dimension, which led to a huge disaster and fog swirling through a neighborhood and fires. And anyway, we figured out that Argus and Brendan are involved in this weird pseudo-fascist cult, and they've run off to a nearby mountain range to try and get into a passage into the inner worlds of the earth. So we're going to chase them and sit them down and hopefully have a couple of serious conversations about the role of,
what's right,
normalcy.
Okay, awesome. Now we are at the end. We did complete a chapter, so all of our heroes have gained/lost some sanity based on the events. They've also increased some skills, so we've updated the little sheets that pop up below them with their new luck totals and things as well, so check those out. But as we start this session, let's go to the Vandervan Tower, where the 4 of you have just arrived and you are planning your expedition and where you intend to go and how you're going to get there. You've got access to a lot of cars. Edie, you've got plenty of vehicles as well. What's the means? What's the go?
Well, I think Mr. Vandervan's car's got to be the best, right? You're a big shot.
Yes. Only the finest for inner-sitting driving.
Just those because they are expensive doesn't mean they're made well or are fast. This is real country driving. Does your car, do the tires have tread? It's tread?
Edith, I'll
No,
remind you.
they tend to be black or blue.
Don't worry about that, Mr. Vandervan. I'll remind you that your family's designed Mr. Vandervan's cars. So if they are breaking down in the middle of the forest, then we might have some concerns to raise with your family about the quality of the goods you've been providing us.
We tune those cars for city driving in New York. They're not made for going up mountains. Do you have anything that is more, country driving?
Do I?
Make a credit rating check.
I have a feeling he will pass.
I suspect he might.
Are you sure? I
Yeah.
mean,
We gotta roll it once in a while. Once in a while, you can't just assume you have everything.
I have 90 credit rating.
Yeah,
Do we
you
need to
do.
go through this big charade? Wow, I succeeded.
What
With
level of
a,
success did you?
what is
we
that?
still did.
You have
A success 2, a hard success.
Yeah, very good. All right, yeah, I think you can have a. What do you have? Is it something that you would take up to a country?
I guess so. Yeah, I'd have a summer home.
Yeah.
So
So
the
it can be fixed with chains or whatever if it's winter driving, or you've got some great big rubbery tires to chew through sand and gravel.
But I'm sure Edie is hooked me up with that, and could make all kinds of weird science improvements if she wanted to.
Yeah, could I do that? Could
I
I,
mean, is
could I
this-
look into making some kind of like I don't know. I mean, the problem with country driving, it's not like snow. It's just like hilly and.
Well,
Yeah,
we're going
yeah.
to be like going into tunnels and stuff. Maybe you could
Are
like fix
we?
a big like tunnel borer. in the front.
Oh, literally.
So we can
Well,
just
we
bore into the
think
center of the
I
earth.
think the cultists
Like a-
are going into the center of the earth.
And we,
Yeah,
we've
like
heard
the
what
mole.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We've heard what they're doing and we thought this is a great idea, so we're gonna just do what they're
Well,
running.
if we need to follow them, if we think we're going into the center of the earth, then
I think like that might be a little ambitious.
not at all.
Well, why don't we?
I'll
do know-
put the bill.
It's just that you do know that like tunnel boring machines, they move like 1 meter per day.
Okay, but I got lots of money to throw at it.
Look,
so give me that, but faster.
It's not a matter of money. I think it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like we want to leave at some point
We
today.
have, which is because
Time
you
is
probably
money.
couldn't get this done immediately. Your options would be either fixing something that you had pre-prepared for another client, and then you're kind of screwing them over, or what's the relationship the two of you have had before? Is this something that you might have been engaged to do earlier? So probably putting a giant drill on it. You haven't needed one of those in the past, nor has anyone in your family.
That
Yeah,
would
you
be a
know.
bit of a stretch, wouldn't it?
Well, the drilling you do out in the back, you know. Everyone's got themselves a giant drill car these
the
days.
subway, we always need more.
Oil.
Tubes.
There's money in it.
I mean, I could fix metal things to the wheels to make it better grip.
A bit more
On the
mad
terrain.
access.
Yeah.
I got,
but I mean,
I got a pretty random theory. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know nothing about cars, alright?
Me
But
either, funnily
imagine,
enough.
so you know how like 2 of the wheels turn?
Yeah.
What if like all of the wheels turn? Like
Was
all
that a
4
thing?
of them drive at the same time?
Yeah,
Some
you could
kind
That's
of
some kind of a...
quad wheel drive.
Yeah, I like it. Could that be a possible thing? I don't know.
Certain four-wheel drive exists. But I like that the powers of weird engineering can not only
Does it really
add
not
things
exist
to
yet?
the world, or it can also remove things. So no one else has four-wheel drive but you.
Boom. That'd make me
Wait,
very
I just-
happy.
I-
Look, I at least have to go home and like pack a bag of stuff, and I assume we all do. Like, so I think we gotta take the morning. We leave at like lunchtime, around midday. Everyone goes home. We pack a bag. We get some equipment, some camping stuff. I don't know. I don't have any of that stuff. I've been in Brooklyn my whole life. But maybe Mr. Vandervan, you have some stuff lying around. I don't know. But
Or we could go to a Home Depot.
a what?
That is an
Whatever
American
the-
Bunnings.
Whatever the equivalent of a Home Depot was in 1935.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure we
like a
could.
hardware store.
Yeah,
we
hardware
could-
But are you
find
aiming to get like lumber or?
I don't know.
I think.
Just want
Listen.
stuff.
How about?
I always feel like rope is super useful.
I-
If we just get rope, I'll be happy.
I'm prepared.
I knew Reaper was going to tell us when four-wheel drive was invented.
Yeah,
So
I was-
apparently, yeah, he has.
Yeah, in like the 1800s, right?
Oh,
No,
really?
this world.
Yeah.
This world was never invented. No one thought to have all wheels.
Who
go,
would've
except
thought it?
Edie, who was like,
Wait a minute.
So.
There's 4 wheels.
Listen, I'm relatively prepared. I can just get my bag from upstairs. Why don't the two of you head home and get what you need, and I'll go with Mr. Vandervan's blessing to collect all the equipment that we'll need for the trip. Mr. Vandervan, you can get the vehicle ready, and we can be on our way at lunchtime.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right. I guess we do
Two
like
easy.
hands in the middle, break on through. No, never mind.
The Brooklyn 4.
I like it.
but one of you lives
Where are
in
we
Brooklyn.
from? Oh.
You're from Jersey
We
City.
could
from
be,
Jersey.
We could be the...
The
oh,
New
yeah.
York like 9 and you just get 5
You
points.
just don't ask about the other 5. We don't want to talk
They all
about them.
died.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Melody,
Hey.
Brendan, Percy, Rip, Lincoln, Ferdinand, and Leopold might be able to join.
Yeah, I'm surprised we still have Percy up there.
Yeah. Well, he's
You
up
can
there
probably-
as a reminder because for the viewers who didn't see, we lost a bit of sanity because Percy
that's
died.
right.
So yeah. Anyway, I'm good to go. I just gotta catch the L train down, change it to Central Station, catch the F around the corner to Brooklyn.
One of Mr. Van der Ven's people can drive you.
That's alright. I'll take the train. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna head back to Brooklyn to grab some stuff. You're going home to also acquire some gear, okay? And the two of you, it's just upstairs. So if you want to do any other shopping, you can just probably have that.
Sir, can I use the corporate account to collect us some supplies?
Yes, of course. Put it on my card. Do we have cards?
I don't think so.
Weird
Yes.
science cards.
Reaper, if you could get on that for us.
It's cash.
Let us know when credit cards came about.
I feel like they were because they were department cards first, right? They were used that you would go to a department store and you would have
Oh,
a
issued
embossed
by them.
metal card that just worked there.
But it was a store
I am
by
like
store.
40%.
I think that at this stage it was still bills that you could leave at certain places, and they could call up. Originally,
suspect
But
they
the
checks.
embossed one is the department card is I'm pretty sure the first version of a credit card. I don't know if they're.
You should just write him a blank check and give him that.
Why don't
Like,
you just give me like $100?
No, I'll give you several blank checks. That's
Okay.
fine.
Oh, well, great. All right. Well, this is good. Great.
whatever works for you.
Excellent. Alright, so you're going to do some shopping, the two of you head back. You're not far from... Actually, it's probably going to be an hour or two and then yeah, look, getting back this afternoon's perfectly... Oh, sorry, getting away this afternoon's perfectly reasonable. You're back here for lunch. What's the goal? Edie, what do you want to get? Just...
I guess I just want my like weird science shit, power
Yeah.
drill, the little magnifying glass. It's got other magnifying glasses attached to it.
Yep.
Attached to your glasses?
No,
Those ones?
this is a pile of shit. This legitimately serves no purpose. It's entirely aesthetic, in world and outside.
Looks dope though.
I realized Edie did have them. Nice.
Oh no, yeah, no, she has goggles.
Bangled welding goggles.
No, they're not as high key as this.
Alright, yeah, so you load up a bunch of tools. You've got sort of trunks of gear that you
Yeah,
can
little
haul off
crystals.
with you. You bring in the deathbed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's staying home.
Oh yeah, best. Actually, a few
That's
few
where-
weeks away from that will really help that
No,
sort of
That's where my cousins sleep when they come visit.
Yeah.
your poor cousins.
Their hair's been falling out recently.
You can say goodbye to your family as well, so they're gonna know that you're away.
Yeah.
Where do you tell them that you're going?
Camping with friends.
Just miss camping.
Just hardcore lying to my parents.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, all right. Is this the norm for Edie? Have you lied to your parents before? Yeah. You just take the
No,
path of
it's,
least
it's,
resistance.
it's like a don't ask, don't tell arrangement. They're just like, as long as you come home, it's fine.
Okay,
So-
sweet. All right, yeah. So they're pretty sure you're not telling the truth, but like you said, as long as they don't push the matter, that's probably all right. And you depart, heading back towards Manhattan. You're gonna have to retread this path because you're gonna head out through Jersey City to get further north. But,
There's ferries though.
no. Sorry, it's easy enough to do. You're just going back the way you were going to need to come again today.
Yeah.
And we're
It's no big
leaving.
nothing.
Oh my god.
Yes.
1928.
Credit card facts.
1928.
Unsubscribe.
64 by 30. Oh, millimeters. I thought they were centimeters.
64. Hello, I'd like to put this on my credit card, please.
You mean literally on the card?
Yeah.
It's like filling the display with just chunks of information.
Whoever said streams can't be informative?
Learn and be
wrong.
entertained.
It
What-
mention
what does it say?
department
It
at
was-
all. Looks like they were military. Called an addressograph.
Oh, cool.
Well, you're rich enough that you could have had access to that.
I think so.
Also, I'm pretty sure you're rich enough that if you just say the name Van der Ven, people will give you things. They'll be like, it's fine. We'll bill it to
We know
you.
you're good for it. Yeah.
And we're leaving on a Sunday, right? At about midday.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sunday
Let me get
fun day.
It was a Sunday.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to get all of the camping equipment that I can think of as pertinent. I'm going to get tents, ropes. I'm going to get climbing pittons. I'm going to get Jose standing here with arms full of supplies.
How well is your survival?
Well, do you want me to make a survival test?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like that's
So
the
you got
perfect
survival?
topic. That's a perfect thing for what you would know.
What's the fumble range?
96 to 100.
Okay, that is a fumble on a survival test.
Ooh, I'm
I
so
thought it was
sorry.
98 was a fumble. No, it's 96.
No, it's
if it's the
96.
left.
No,
Jamie,
it's
I'm so sorry. I made you.
No, I was
Why would
expecting
you
it.
apologize?
For
Oh,
reference,
so-
I have 10 in survival.
Oh, okay, alright. That's good, because I'm pretty sure none of us know how to survive.
So I bring a
No.
tent that isn't rated for the cold. I bring like
Oh,
yeah,
we're
no
so-
equipment. We have nothing.
we're such a, we're so,
I think
we're such
basically,
New
we're
Yorkers.
assuming you guys are beginning with nothing, or you buy a bunch of gear and then promptly leave it in the lobby.
Yeah.
Effectively, you guys are going in blind.
But we're like, yeah, the wilderness, Central Park. We're going out and
It's just
go
like
to
a-
a diner.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So unfortunately, you spend the whole morning getting gear, but it's just misc. It's not particular. You get some really nice sort of hats and suits from Mr. Van
That's
der
it,
Ven.
yeah.
So you've got a suite of different options,
Wow.
but none of them are
Slippers.
weatherproof. Yeah. 3 different pairs. No, you get tons of stuff.
It's a good thing I have plenty of time to pack. Jose, the cerulean or the vermilion shirts?
Oh, why not both? We've got the room.
Oh, excellent choice. I like it.
You get out the rope that you thought was pretty important, put it aside.
The one thing I could remember.
Yeah. All right. And lastly, Nick, you head back across the river to Brooklyn. You get into your small apartment. As you open the door, letters have sort of been just jammed under the thing and have begun to pile up a bit in the last few days. You begin gathering up your gear, and as you leave, you stop just on the door with your bag under your hand, and you check through the mail, sort of bill, advertisement, bill, and then right at the top there is one which is a letter from the Slater Institute for Parapsychological Studies, and it is addressed to Nicholas DeMartino, and it is what you are keenly aware to be your sister's handwriting, and I'll pass you across the backs.
Your sister? Didn't know you had a sister.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Oh.
I'll read it out for the benefit of everybody. May 1st, 1935. Dear Nicholas, I have been moved again, and I'm now sleeping at the Slater Institute in Woodstock. I am not far from you in Brooklyn. I hope that you can find it. I hope you can find the time to visit. Things here are well, and the doctors are very kind. They are helping me to understand. The other patients are pleasant, but quiet of late. I am making good friends and have regular visitors. One in particular is very kind to me. She has suggested a camping trip. Her family has a home nearby and has offered to host me there when I am released, as I will be feeling much better then. I hope you get this letter soon, and I hope that you are being a good policeman. I am proud of you and love you very much. Yours, Nora.
Wait, bro. No, never mind.
Little concerning.
That was May 1st.
Do you want to reveal that
we
to
can
the...
put that on the thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we changed how the green screen works, so
Oh,
good
it's
luck
giant.
not seeing any of the players for a while.
Woo! Hang on. So she left on May. She sent this to you on May 1st.
May 1st.
Brandon Sterling went missing on May 2nd, and Ferdinand Argus. It's got 2 last names. He went to Socrates on the 3rd.
Could also be a coincidence. If she wrote me a letter on the May 1st, it would have only arrived today. That's reasonable timing, I think. I studied that letter for a little bit. Can I make...
You make a psychology check. Could be
Yeah,
on how your sister normally presents herself.
Because it seemed...
Sure, go ahead and make a psychology roll.
Some fine prop work here.
I will.
Well, I actually did really well. So psychology, I got a hard success 2.
Okay. Your sister's always been well spoken, if a little odd in her manner. You haven't gotten a letter for her in quite some time though. Probably not since you were both younger. Additionally, it has a very formal tone to it in like how she's treating you. There's something about it that's rubbing you a little bit the wrong way. You're not entirely sure what it is.
Would you be able to check it's definitely her handwriting? Like, would you know?
You could take it into the guys at the lab. It's probably a little beyond you. That'd be actual cryptography, or I think there's a skill for matching.
There's a way I could definitely identify if it was her.
What's that?
I'm alone at the moment in the apartment.
Yep.
Right?
You had the door open, but you can boot it back closed.
Yeah, I'd like to close the door and just slowly take my gloves off.
Alright.
Get your digits on it.
And then I would like to reach down and just gently touch the letter with my open fingertips.
Now, as you pick up, as the gloves come off, you can feel what cloaked your skin for so long, and you kind of gotten used to that muted, slightly muffled feeling. And as soon as they come off, it's like taking a breath of fresh air. It's like breath of fresh air, rather. It's like blinders being removed, and everything has a much wholer feel to it. You can feel the wind that's moving through the open window, and as you touch to the paper, you begin to get sort of emotions that move through it, and little grey sort of shapes that shift a little bit in the back of your mind and slightly cloud your vision. Can you make a parapsychology roll as you try and focus this?
Psychometry.
That's the one.
This is the first time, right?
This is.
Psychometry.
Reveal.
Alright.
Oh,
I have failed that.
Okay.
Ooh.
So as you do it, you can feel something. You're getting emotions going through that, and there's no sense of calm. There's something conveyed. There's something being walled off, but you're not getting a moment immediately. Now you can leave this. You can try again later, or you can try and trace down your sister through another means, or you could attempt to push the roll. Now you've probably had a situation in the past where you've done this. You wear gloves for a reason, and you're not particularly keen to use this. Can you explain to us what's happened previously? Can you give an example of a time when you used this and regretted it?
So psychometry, or my abilities anyway, are very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so I feel really strongly emotions and sense things that happened. And especially in my line of work sometimes, that can lead to... investigating crimes, you deal with a lot of anger and a lot of despair. And sometimes that can overwhelm a being. When you feel that too much, it can take over your body and you lose control. And I'm not letting that happen.
Alright.
I'm not letting that happen again. So
So
I
you
put the
kind of-
glove back on.
I think you can begin to feel yourself, or a tether being formed between yourself and the letter. You begin to get emotions coming through, but then almost unwillingly you drop the letter, which falls to the ground, and quickly pull the glove back on. There was a time, quite some years ago, when a murder weapon or something had to be identified, and as you kind of put yourself into its circumstances, you found yourself filled with sort of rage and self-loathing that you still kind of carry with you. It's a very dangerous thing to open your mind up to. The letter falls to the ground and slides back towards the door. With your gloves hands on her, you can retrieve it once more, fold it up and store it. Now the Slater Institute is a little while away. It's up towards the north, actually not far from where you're going. So you kind of pop that in the back of your mind, and as you refold the letter, you can return to meet your friends.
I would like to refold that up, put it in the envelope and store it in my pocket.
Okay.
And then I would also like to go to my closet where, and for a second, I like look up at the place up at the very top where I store an old 12 gauge shotgun. And I almost reach up to grab it, and then I shake my head and I
Alright,
leave.
you close it back. You've still got your service pistol,
Yeah.
but little else. So you're not taking anything else much of significance?
Yeah, just clothes.
Just clothing and stuff? Alright. You head back and begin to get on the train to head further in. Now, just before the four of you meet, your lawyer is going to want a quiet word with you just towards the side, where he comes up and he sees that you've been talking to people, and he sees your piles of silk shirts, and he goes, well, he's clearly going camping, so it looks like that's staying. He's going to come up and he's going to say, all right, William, looks like this is all going ahead, and it's good to see you've taken our advice on board. Listen, if we want to get in contact with you, can you let us know where you're going to be so we can make sure that we can get a message through?
Of course. And the name of the town was, as you remember.
Socrates is the one that's
Socrates.
referenced in some of the notes. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere up Socrates way, I believe.
He goes, all right. I think they're a little light on connection to the rest of the world, but we'll get a message to you. If you wouldn't mind checking in once you arrive, we just want to make sure you're safe, and we'll let you know how the proceedings are going.
Proceedings? Last I heard, we were still waiting on anything to happen.
There's been some contact. Listen, it's nothing to worry yourself about. We're handling it, of course, so don't you worry.
That's what I pay you for.
You do, and you pay us very well, so rest assured, it'll be handled.
Excellent.
All right, enjoy your camping trip, Mr. Van
I
Der Ven.
will, and you enjoy your weekend. I hope it's relaxing.
Yeah, he takes it on the chin. He doesn't seem to mind. And they will step aside back to his retinue of assistant lawyers, and you can gather up your gear and head out towards the car. So you're taking the large truck, is that right?
Yeah.
Which is currently across both lanes outside, and the doors are all open as people are hauling in clothing, little survival equipment.
It's like a double row kind of thing, it's a 4-seater.
Oh yeah, at least. Are you bringing a driver?
No, I think we'll press
rough it?
on.
Okay, all
Just
right.
volunteering me for
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Okay, whatever.
You're a driver, right?
I
Do you
drive.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
definition of
I
driver.
I wouldn't label myself a driver. No, my driving's
Diminish yourself to that.
my driving's fine. It's 40. So
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
no,
Yeah.
you're more than capable of driving.
professional level.
And you probably, if this was the vehicle that you've worked on before, you're probably fairly familiar
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
true. I would know it. Yeah.
Took us those burnout tracks where you buried that body once.
I scribbled I etched my initials under.
Yeah, that's good. Alright, awesome. Each of you slide into the car. The gear is piled up high enough that you can't see the rearview mirror or anything. And as you indicate out into traffic, you begin to push through Manhattan on a Sunday, heading towards upstate New York. Given that we're not bringing anything practical, can I get an impractical item from everyone that they're going to bring, just specifically for a camping trip? Something that you, as people that have been urban your entire life, think will be crucial and think will really come in handy out there in the wilderness.
My first thought is something I don't think exists yet. I was gonna say a rice cooker.
Yeah, no, I think that works.
No
I don't
pot.
think I'm
That
gonna.
would be useful.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna. I'm
No, I think a
gonna.
rice cooker is hilarious. It's like a generator as well. Only cooks rice. Just very slowly boils water.
Oh, you invented a rice cooker and then you bring it.
Yeah.
This is your mum's Christmas present.
Yeah.
What? From me to her?
Yeah.
And I'm just taking it?
Well, you might need it. You don't know how rough it's going to get out there. She wouldn't want you sleeping rough. It's best you take it. Alright, so
I think she's probably never used it for fear of turning it on.
and all the radiation levels along the side. Yeah, and it does this high-pitched whine when it's activated.
You have to
so
do
it
it one
sounds
grain
like
of rice at
explode.
a time with a pair of between tongs.
It's like,
Full
it's
fire.
like little lasers. Cooks them. Yeah.
Alright, so we've got a very high-tech and possibly lethal rice cooker.
Great, cooked.
Anyone else got a sweet piece?
After you.
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay, well, Reaper says oranges.
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear.
Enough
Well,
is gonna be.
I'm gonna do a Mr. Van Der Ven insists that he has a bath drawn for him every evening.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring a large, like 120 kilogram ceramic
Are you serious?
freestanding bathtub
Strapped on the roof.
with gilded, it's beautiful.
It's got
Gilded
the lion, it's
faucets?
got the
Yeah.
lion paw feet
Yeah.
on either side. Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, exactly, and it's filled with all of the vaguely soggy books that he reads in the tub.
So just piled in and then a top's thrown over. It's strapped to the roof of the car, which is beginning to chew through traffic.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
And as you're sitting in traffic, you do wish, because you'd considered a few years ago getting a giant drill installed on the front to get through traffic. You never went with it, but man, that would have been useful.
Always must have took me out of it. Upon seeing Jose load the bathtub into the back of the truck, I immediately go, "Oh, of course! I nearly forgot!" And I run back upstairs, get in the elevator, go all the way up, and grab Sir Thomas, who is my rubber ducky. Can't have a bath without him. So
Okay.
we got a rubber duck.
Excellent.
I like your idea of books. And I've already got 3 of them
Yeah.
as a collection. So I like to think Nick's a bit of a reader. So we get a copy of like The Jungle Book and like what's the desert island one?
Robinson
Robinson
Crusoe.
Crusoe.
Yeah.
Like fictional
Like
stories that I think are
adventure
going to be
Journey to the
used out.
center of the earth.
Yeah.
You
Very much-
almost, and then
but also very much aimed at like teenagers.
yeah.
Like that sort of.
Treasure Island.
Bring the
Yeah.
time traveler as well, just in case.
Yeah, sure. So
So you've got a bunch of young adult fiction.
Yeah, there's a
just in
significant
case.
portion of my suitcase is just full of
Dracula.
old books.
Alright, excellent. Okay.
They're very new currently. They're new
Yeah,
books.
right.
Yeah, no, it's a great collection, and if you
I'll
get
look
some
at
time
that.
to read on the way up, you'll be able to start to look through them. Now, speaking of which, you both had some tomes you could spend some more time. No, you got yours. chewed up.
Yeah,
You
my
fed
God.
yours to a
My God.
supercomputer.
Did you want to make one more attempt to try and claim that? Oh my goodness, this is not. Anyway. Sorry,
You've
these
gone
tickets, I just
upstairs
realised
to
you're
get the
covering
rubber ducky,
everything.
and on the way down, the
Oh.
elevator automatically
I'm
stops.
gonna get rid of those.
Oops. No, I'm operating off the assumption it's just still working on it.
Yeah,
Still
okay.
chewing through it. It's
Alright.
like, get back to me next week.
I look forward to your
Yeah.
report. Okay.
So, Nick, Reaper has redeemed handguns. So next time you have to use handguns.
If you
You
fail,
gotta
need
push
to
that
push
shit.
it,
Oh my god.
which is never gonna come out in a good situation.
Oh,
You,
this is gonna
you
be.
have to do the thing where you fire on the side.
Recoils and hit yourself in the face.
Alright.
That would be the least of your problems. You're definitely killing someone.
Yeah. No.
Alright,
You think,
excellent.
you,
Thank
think
you, Reaper.
you can fire between two of your allies.
Does
Just-
this
and
break the
Vanderbilt.
usual fact that you can't push combat roll?
Well, no. Actually, I think Jim and I were talking earlier and we basically said yes.
Nice.
Because we think it's amusing, so yes, basically.
Iconic.
Okay.
Alright,
I'll let
so
you know.
with the four of you in the car and beginning to head upstate, it takes you an hour or two just to clear the city. The traffic's pretty bad in this sort of area, and you're spending a lot of time trying to navigate a very wide vehicle through streets not really designed for it. Eventually, though, you begin to break away and head bound further north. Now, it's in May, but this has been a particularly cold one, and as you get out onto open roads and begin to move further along, you can see little banks of crusted snow on either side, areas that haven't melted yet. And although there's been little rain, there are little slick patches of ice in different areas. You can see people fishing by the river, and they're fairly bundled up, ready for any cold that sweeps further in.
Nay. Not much. It's pretty
Sorry, I stand corrected. Much.
It is March.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh,
March.
no, it's May.
It's May.
No, it's May.
It's still
No,
snowing
right,
in May.
fine. Yes.
Yeah.
It's still snowing in May.
It is.
Does that happen?
I think particularly cold ones. Not still snowing, more it hasn't had the chance to melt
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah, it's sort of
Just
chilly.
melt. I think snow can get pretty bloody deep, especially that far north, and then it just takes ages and ages for it to melt. I don't know. We live in Melbourne. I haven't seen snow
I
in quite
think
some
in
time.
parts of America where it does get quite cold, it can be cold for a majority of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But are we like now sort of up towards the mountains?
You're heading up into the mountains
Yeah,
as
so
well. The
we're- it's
Catskills
like-
are a large,
it's kinda
basically
like
park along the.
Mount
I
Gambier.
stand
Not
corrected.
Gambier, Mount. What's the one with snow on it in Victoria?
Snowy
Buller.
Mountain?
No, it's
There's a
Mount
few.
Buller.
Yeah.
snowy.
Mount Buller, come on down for average ski. Big snow.
Whoa, hey, don't do that. Big buller will come.
Weird fight just started.
You know what? I'm on board. Let's do it.
Anyway,
Alright.
you begin to head further up and you are bound for Saugerties. Now, this is a small town. It's about 100 miles north of Manhattan alone, but once you're out on the open area, it's pretty smooth driving. And given you got away at lunch, you're probably looking to get in there at about 4 or possibly 4:30 p.m. Can I get a... Actually, it doesn't really warrant a drive auto check. There's nothing of significance here.
Maybe
Yeah,
get
no,
there real
unfortunately.
fast.
No, yeah, you could try and sort of go off-road just for the sake of it. But after a few hours, you're beginning to pull into this small town. It was once a factory town. There's a lot of industrial areas that previously took down trees to turn them into paper, and there are mining sections which would have delved deeper into the earth to haul out sort of slate and stone which were shipped further away. A lot of changes recently though, and given the onset of the Great Depression, this place has seen much better years. There's only one still working hotel, and there's a few sort of smaller general stores dotting it around. Anyone that still works here are resigned to a single, larger factory which is still operating, although not on Sunday. and workers that have nothing better to do on the day are kind of milling around a little aimlessly. Where are you bound for? What's the first port of call?
We should find a hotel to check into.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You said there was one hotel?
Pretty much. You can see there are listed 4, but the other 3 have all slowly shut down over the years and no longer operate.
Okay.
This place was once a pretty big resort town, but no longer sees the clientele to warrant it.
Well,
Is there any...
If there's a single hotel, that stands us the best chance of finding Argus.
Yeah. Is there any clear reason why the town... Is it just because of the Great Depression? Like, they just
I mean,
running...
the depression hit everyone pretty hard, and this place was once it's a resort. It's a place that people go to travel into the mountains. Less, less income means people take fewer holidays, so it spirals onwards.
As we drive through, there's no, as in, the town hasn't been damaged by, storms. There's no, clear reason why.
No, there's a bit of build-up on snow, and they haven't kept the roads particularly clear, but there's been no typhoon.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Sorry, the Great what? The Great what?
No, don't worry about it, it's fine.
There's just, this economic situation happening right now. Where, yeah, there's just not a lot of money, and a lot of people are, suffering, and there's a big dust bowl on the other side of the country. It's pretty bad.
Huh.
Yeah.
All the best.
You suck, man.
Now, as we come up to this hotel and we begin to get out and begin to head inside, are there a bunch of other cars parked at this hotel by any chance?
No, there aren't. There's probably another 1 or 2 farm vehicles or something where people might have come from the surrounding areas, but there is no fleet or anything. There's no convoy, if that's what you're looking for.
You said it's snow, pretty heavy, which means there might still be some tracks around, particularly if it hasn't been snowing.
Quite some time ago it snowed heavy. That's why we're in May and it's still got ice. But no, absolutely there'd be tracks around. This place is not concrete streets. A lot of it's got muddy things to the side and everything.
I can't see evidence of a fleet of cars coming through. What I'm hoping is that we can see some evidence of this gang of campers all coming through and see that they've come and been and gone. And if I may, how far, when we go past the other hotels that you mentioned, I'd also like to take a brief look at them, because if there's anywhere that a bunch of people are going to set up in this little town, it would be one there. So there's a bunch of cars all clustered around one of those.
Give me a spot hidden check, just as you go through the town looking for clumps of cars, and then once you get towards the hotel, if you want to spend some time, you can hop out and make a track roll. Go spot hidden first.
Alright, so the spot hidden is going to fail.
Okay. You do not see any large groups of cars. You're pretty sure you would. They may be concealed. There's a lot of old abandoned barns and factories. If they wanted to obscure them, the means to do so are here, but they're not out in the open.
Right.
If you want to, you can spend some time to do a track roll. Do you want to do that?
No, I'll stick with Mr. Vandervan for now. I want to make sure he's safe.
Okay. The car pulls out in front of what is known as the Grand Exchange Hotel. And as you each hop down onto the mud outside, you sink about a ½ inch into it, and your boots just sort of send out little flecks of mud to either side as you walk around to gather up a couple of personal effects for heading inside, making a booking, and possibly asking some questions. It's 3 stories, and it's very old, at least 100 years plus. This has been here for a while, and it's seen a lot of history. It's well maintained for the most part. You can see the wooden banisters are kept sort of polished. The rugs, while faded, are pristine, and they take a lot of care in their appearance. Additionally, down at one of the lower levels, where once there would have been a canteen or fairly basic kitchen, there is now a charming bar and grill that has a sort of fluorescent, oddly flashing sign that says Sparky's. Looks like it's been taken over by not a chain necessarily, but a fairly tacky family restaurant. There is a concierge seated behind a desk, half asleep, with a large brass bell right in front of him.
I'd like to walk up and give it a cheerful ding.
So as you head up, he's asleep. He kind of half watches you approach because he's mostly asleep. You walk right in. Bing! It resounds through the air, and he does up sharply, and he goes, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you there. We were just looking for some rooms.
No, that's okay. How can I help you? How many rooms will you be needing?
Oh, well, I suppose we could go 4. Why not?
Sorry as well. I'm Jacob. Welcome to the Exchange Hotel.
Oh, thank you very much, Jacob. Vanderven, William.
Pleased to meet you, William Vanderven. I'll fetch you your keys. And he sort of leans away, pushing his ear a little bit. You slammed it right in front of him. It's enough to just shake the poor boy.
It was a cheerful ding. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
Aggressive ding.
It's on the line of cheerful.
Grabbed up the bell and rammed it against the side of his head.
It beat him into submission from
Right.
there. Yeah.
He's unconscious.
As you turn around to the others, you wipe a couple of the flecks of blood off the counter from where you slammed it into that child, and you guys have a moment before Jacob returns with 4 keys.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. If I may act immediately. I'm sorry, Mr. Van de Ven. As soon as Jacob walks out of the room, we're going to lean over the counter and see if there's an address book.
Okay. Do you want to go either a sleight of hand check to basically twist it towards yourself without... There are a couple of people moving around. There's cleaners and stuff. Or you can try to a spot hidden check to... It's very... This whole thing has been polished to a pristine level. And in some of the wood grain on the other side, you can see the reflection of names listed backwards.
I'm
you can
gonna
try
go
to read
spot
them.
hidden test,
Okay, go for
yes.
it. Make a roll. It's going to be hard, I think. Just
Oh, that is going to... I'll take your hard and I'll give you a hard back. Yep, that sounded bad.
Thanks.
Oh
Push it
dear.
can you push to extreme?
That's what I was setting up for, but I'm not going to spend that luck. No, it's a hard success.
Hard success? No, good. Well, I take my hard to you and return the hard.
My hardiest
There
offense.
is the name Argus you cannot see, but you do, after perusing, just as the man is turning back, you can see a long list of people, all with just quotation marks next to them. You know when you just put down, like, these are all part of the same
Yeah.
party, under the name Leopold Fontanelli. And the name on Friday, May 3rd. It looks like they are not currently checked in.
Fontanelli, May 3rd. Do I get a room number?
There is, yes, a suite of rooms.
Wait, so they were checked in?
They are no longer checked in.
Okay.
So they've
Sure.
already departed.
Checked out.
The kid returns back and says, I've got you all on the same level, next to one another, and he places them down on the desk. Would you like to be in one of the same rooms? There were 20 of them, there's a chance. Do you want to make a luck check?
Yeah, let's
Go
do
for
it. I'll fail the luck check, but can I just say, listen, you don't have rooms X to Y available, do you?
He looks in the book and he says, I can check. Sure, yeah, we can move you into one of them. Only the one, unfortunately, but we can get you the rooms next door.
Sure.
Okay. I'll change those, and he takes them, returns. Sure, done. And I'll pass them over to you. It is a penny of a penny to you to pay for this. Are you going to be covering everyone's?
Absolutely,
Because
yeah.
it's Van de Ven's investigation.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's right.
I'm putting all the expenses, yeah.
It's got no crimes solved and several crimes committed against his name.
That's alright.
And lots of money spent.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta take a few steps back to
You
lurch
gotta
forward.
make crime to end crime.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah, that's it.
Alright.
I'll have a few questions for the
Sure.
lad.
Well, as you're paying, he's writing out a receipt for you by hand so that you can give it to your accountants later.
Thank you very much. Say, we're actually after some friends of ours who were staying here not long ago. You wouldn't know Mr. Fontanelli or Mr. Vanch. See, I'm fudging it a little bit so that he has to correct me.
As you say Fontanelli, you see he sort of tenses a little bit at the name, and he says, friends of yours.
Can I make a psychology test to try and read exactly what that emotion
Sure,
is?
go for it. Make a psychology test. What are the two of you doing while this is happening? You haven't really been too engaged in the conversation. You're just standing back and keeping an eye out, or are you moving all the bags into the lobby, which could take
That
30
is
minutes to
true.
45?
And the bathtub.
And the bathtub. You can't leave that outside or get the room.
I would actually... is Sparky's open?
Yeah?
I would
Sparky's
like
is
to go
always
for
open.
a drink.
Okay. Alright, you head into Sparky's. There's no one sitting at tables currently, although there is a waitress moving through and just brushing down dust off each of them, just making sure it's clean. Sorry, not dust in like it had crude and never been used, just daily
Is
stuff.
there like a nice plush chair by a fireplace I can sit in?
Not at a Sparky's.
Oh, goddamn
There is
Sparky's.
a high bar with a bunch of seats that look uncomfortable. They're like those really tall stools you have to half perch on, and behind it is a liquor shelf and a gentleman standing in the front wearing, what are those puffed shirts that have the band around it so they kind of keep
Oh, the
all
arm
puffed
guards?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like the-
standing in front of
the-
it.
what are they called?
And he seems to have picked up a glass just so he can squeak it clean as you step up. What do you want to order?
I would like to go right to the end of the bar, take a seat, order some sort of whiskey,
Yep.
And when he comes over, I say, leave the bottle.
Perfect.
Okay, all right, yeah. He heads over with it's like a half one. He puts it down. You're a real bartender. Are they allowed to do that?
That's not. This is the most ridiculous thing in movies.
Okay, yeah, the best thing about role-playing. What a fantasy. Yeah, he can leave it for you. Do you have the means to pay for that sort of thing? Do you have that kind of burnable income?
No, but I'll charge it to Mr. Van Ven.
Okay, alright, so you say to put it on the room.
Put it on the room.
As you lean out, you can see them getting the room number and you can put it to that. No worries. You're left with the bottle. What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about my sister.
Who's the drink to?
Oh, I'm firstly, whenever I use my abilities, it takes a lot out of me. I feel that, so I'm just having a drink to relax a little bit. And I don't know what to do. Something strange is afoot. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Have you been particularly talkative while you were in the car on the way up, or beginning to?
I've probably been conspicuously untalkative. I've been, yeah. Nick is not usually shy to prattle on, but he's been quieter lately.
Edie, you saw him head into the bar, and as you went out to get one load of clothes, you bring it in, you set it down, you can see these two continuing to talk to the clerk, and Nick has settled himself at the end of the bar with a bottle of whiskey. What do you want to do?
What's the town called that we're in?
Socrates.
Oh, we're in Socrates?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I thought we were in a layer of a town.
No.
I would like to be bringing stuff into the hotel.
Yep.
But as I'm doing that, I kind of do want to be looking around, the people in the town. Did they seem normal, or do they seem kind of? I mean, I guess it's gonna be kind of hard. I just want to see did they seem off?
Okay.
But I guess it's gonna be hard to tell because if they're just kind of out of work and a bit downtrodden.
Yeah, look, there's a general flavor of misery that just covers the continent and the world at the moment, so you gotta work through that first. You can make a psychology roll to get a feel for the area. You could also, I'm not sure, do you have another skill that you'd like to...
Because Socrates was where... which one says... Was Socrates on any of these?
Yeah.
Yep.
In the very last line of that, the one you're holding.
Yeah, okay. So Socrates was where they were going to
Mm-hmm.
find this portal. Mm-hmm. So I guess...
Do you want to look for a portal?
I just want to look is there anything... Yeah.
Can she? Can she roll for find portal?
Just to find the portal?
Is there
if you can make that roll, that's going to make our job a lot easier.
Put on my goggles. I basically want to look for, is there anything that points to you said it was a mining town. Is there anything that points to excavation? Or some
recent.
kind of hint that they dig stuff here, or there's something strange going on?
Yeah, no. So they do dig. They haven't had a wealth of work previously. They have quarries a little bit further north, and you can see a couple of trucks parked outside the one still working factory that are not in motion today. There's only 3 trucks, so they don't exactly haul a lot of product back and forth. They had the capacity to do a lot more previously. You can make a geology roll, would be sort of the area and the mining. Engineering possibly. I don't think that would apply.
Engineering's not a skill. I mean, I guess if there's nothing I can really do, in what direction is the mine, or the big quarries? North? Okay.
Northwest probably.
So that's probably what we want to check out.
Heading back higher up towards the Catskill Mountains. Seems really good.
Okay.
As you're moving back and forth from the car, a couple of thick-necked, what are presumably brothers, are currently at the back, right where you need to go to get some of the gear out. And they are sort of taking turns to sort of just push at some of the tires, and they're investigating the craftsmanship of the material,
the car?
of the vehicle. Yeah. And they're sort of alternating between sort of making insults at it, then insulting one another because they made insults at it, and then kind of cycling indefinitely for a while.
They're just standing at the car.
Yeah. It's not often you see a vehicle this nice.
That's true. God dang it, we should have taken something less Van de Van.
Conspicuous?
Yeah, that is the same word.
As you sort of stand there for a moment, one of them notes you there and sees you coming and says, "Hey lady, is this your car?" Another one goes, "It's not her car, dude. There's no chance."
This is
Is it your car?
I drive it. Yeah.
It's alright, settle a bet. Yeah, settle a bet.
What?
They want you to settle a bet.
What do you mean
Do you want to
settle?
talk to them?
Sure,
Or do you
whatever.
dip? So you head up.
Whatever.
They are. How tall are you? Are you?
I am 5'6".
Yeah.
I'm just
All
like
right.
a
You get up. They
normal
are
woman.
pretty big, and they sort of just move over to you. One of them leans onto the car, and he says, "There's no way this would make it up the mountains. I bet it's never even been off-road." The other one goes, it definitely has. Check the wheels, dude.
Oh yeah, did we add?
Yeah, you got little metal. I think, what did you say? Metal bits was, I think, the
Yeah,
quote.
tread or some
Mainly
shit.
shrapnel,
Tread
yeah.
or so. It's got tread.
Yeah, but could it go up a mountain? Has it ever been off-road?
No.
One of them
But
turns and...
it's been modified, and I did that myself. I'm sure it'll be fine. What's it to you guys anyway? Who the f are these people?
One of them turns and sort of slugs his brother in the arm, who sort of recoils a little bit, and they turn it, and she goes, "Whatever, well, we're the Weblands, and we were just having a look at your car, so I don't know why you had to take affront to it. It's pretty nice engineering, though. Do you do work in the city?"
Yeah, what's it to you guys?
Just making conversation. Jeez. You pretty much stonewall them, and they're not getting much entertainment value. They'll begin to turn and head away. One of them takes a swing at
Was
your
it
tires once
Weblands?
more, just to kind of have the final point, if not the last word. And then they begin to move away. One of them just shoves the other one harder, almost sending him careening into the side of the street. But he catches himself and charges back at his brother, who begins to try and dodge and dart back away further up the road. Seems
This
like...
guy's weird. Go inside.
Yeah, you just get your load and turn around and head back inside.
Whatever.
Alright, no worries.
Sure.
Back inside, it's warmer in here. There's a fire set up and stuff, and you can offload a pile of gear and continue gathering. So, the two of you, how'd you go in your psychology roll, by the way?
I got a hard success.
Oh, well done. Yeah, as soon as you mentioned the name Leopold Fontanelli to this clerk, he tensed up. He did not have a good experience with this person and the retinue of 20 people. Claiming to be friends of his probably wouldn't put you in a positive light.
Could I, noticing that and seeing that Van has said friend of ours, can I attempt to salvage the situation by kind of looking at him and going, yeah, friends that owe us money, and giving my best intimidating, like, we are after this man, we are tracking him down.
Alright, yeah, make an intimidation test.
This is one of the few circumstances in which an intimidate test is not directly trying to
Yeah, no,
intimidate him.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
just trying
It's
to
kinda
be
trying to get you to be
intimidating.
too nice to him, weirdly. How'd you go?
I am going to luck that 8 points.
Ooh, okay, alright. With 8 points of luck, you're able to basically put yourself off as a guy who goes around and breaks knees for money, and you look like the kind of guy who likes having money, so the story is adding up pretty well. As you say that, he goes, well, they did seem in a bit of a rush. Listen, sorry, just first, you can't fight here, and if there's anyone that owes you anything, you'll have to take it outside.
We wouldn't dream of besmirching such an establishment, but if you could tell us exactly where they were going, then we'd get out of your hair even faster.
Exactly. I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. But listen, I don't think you want to fight him. He was with 20 people, and they were big folks. Do they all owe you money, or?
Enough of them owe us money for the others to want to side with us. You tell us where we came from and we can take care of them, and if you're holding a grudge against this fella, then you'll like us hanging them out to dry and stress them out a little bit.
Not a grudge, no. I served them, and I did my job, but trust to say they were not kind people, and they did not tip well. I can't tell you exactly where they went, but they were in the general store for a while, and they got a lot of equipment. You could ask there, maybe find some more information, but otherwise, I just know they headed further up into the mountains.
What's up in the mountains?
Well, there's and he kind of switches into talking to tourist mode. He has a whole little spiel which he'll run through. This area has a lot of different resorts higher up that you can go to. In skiing weather, it's very nice to cruise within. There's a lot of mountain trails that you can hike in. And apart from that, there's the nearby town of Woodstock, which has a lot of the quarries to the northwest, or where they once were. There are rumours of all sort of strange things in the woods, which he encourages you that if you can photograph anything and bring it in as evidence, there's a little local pool going for it because no one's been able to so far. And then there's a bunch of really nice trails that you can go up, heading along sort of routes and things to go and have a look around. He will also treat you to a map, which he slides across, the sort of thing that's found in pamphlet form in a large tray next to sort of water parks and mini golf. There are no water parks
I'm
and mini
going
golf.
to place it.
Please do.
Yeah.
Is it
that
going
way.
to, it's gonna, yep, there it
Yeah,
is.
just show
Okay,
it briefly so they get some context. So while that's up, you can see where you guys are is at number 9. That's in the bottom right.
Saugerties.
That's Saugerties. Woodstock
Woodstock is
further up and to the
Down
left,
there.
number 10. Yep. And then you can see a bunch of trails are listed. Now there's basically 2 paths further in, and then there's a long path which is called the Devil's Path. And it is famous because it was originally said that only creatures with cloven hoofs could make it up there, given all the mud. So people used goats and animals to carry their things. It's a pretty famous trail to walk. Very pleasant
right.
one.
So
Pleasant.
that is that.
Hard to do, but on the grand scale of like novice to expert, it's like low intermediate. So a lot of people do it. A lot of very wealthy people do it so they can brag that they've done
So,
it. It's
so
not
there's a
actually that-
myth around it.
That's right.
It's not you can't only get up there. If you
No,
got
it's not
cloven
like
hoofs.
it's. Oh no, and that would have been ages ago. No,
Gotcha.
it's accessible.
Oh, I was thinking like, where are we gonna get cloven hooves from? Like, how are we gonna get up there? Because
That being said, given the weather has yet to turn for the better, it's still a little bit difficult because there's a lot of mud, wet, snow, rain. Not many people have been heading up there yet. They haven't really hit tourist season, for lack of a better word.
And there's no chance you overheard which trail they were taking?
I can't say, unfortunately, but if you inquire with the general store, they at least know what they purchased and could send you in the right direction.
No, I suppose that's better than nothing.
I should ask tomorrow. They'll probably be open then.
I wouldn't mind a quick look at that map.
By all means. Thank you. Sorry, was it Justin? Joshua?
Jacob.
Jacob?
I think it was Jacob,
Joseph?
and I wasn't even in the room.
Jimmy?
It was Jacob.
Jacob. Yeah, it was Jacob. Definitely Jacob.
That's alright.
It was
I'll
always
call
Jacob.
him Justin anyway.
Yeah, it's good. Hey, it's got a J. It's close
Thank you,
enough.
Justin. You've been very helpful.
Oh, that's all right. Anyway, here's your keys. Sparky's is open day and night, so feel free to head on down and grab a bite.
What do you recommend?
They have a suite of very appetizing food. They run daily specials, and the fish is very good.
Excellent. We'll check it out.
Please do. In the meantime, if you need anything during the night, feel free to call down. There's a phone on each floor, and my number's listed next to it. I'll be right up with any assistance I can render.
Thank you very much.
That is quite all right, sir.
Now, what's the standard tip? Is it $8? That sounds about right.
Yeah, he takes it and goes, thank you, sir. And again, if there's anything more I can offer you, any advice on the local area or trails to hike, I'm an expert on these parts.
We'll certainly keep that in mind. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Have a lovely stay.
Oh, I will.
You head off, and the 4 of you, actually you're also probably having a drink, the 3 of you are in this large, open area with a pile of luggage and no one else in the hotel, pretty much.
You know, we could do with a hand. With,
Okay, yeah. Of course, sorry, I was gonna offer. He heads around and gets one of those weird wheelie things that are for suitcases and pushes along. You mean to pile stuff up, and he heads you over to one of those old lifts, which have to be pulled aside. The mesh metal door thing. Each of you are ushered inside, and then he sends you up by stepping inside and pushing the button. He says he'll get the luggage after. Heading up to the 3rd floor and shows you to your 4 rooms, and then he'll descend and he'll be back up with the luggage shortly. The rooms are pretty basic. There's a bed in each one, a little mini basin and stuff, and a place and a bathroom up to the side. It's perfectly pleasant, and everything's kept clean, even though it appears that there's possibly no one else on this floor. Maybe 1 or 2 rooms look like they're occupied.
so who got the room that was previously held by?
Up to you guys. You were given 4 keys and you paid, so it's up to you to dispense.
It was you.
I'm not in the room yet.
Oh.
Are you
Oh,
still
no,
downstairs?
yeah.
Are you not going up yet?
That makes sense. I'd like to give it to the
I probably won't go until I get kicked out.
All right.
Like,
Okay. Sparky's is famous for not kicking people out, so
Okay,
you're gonna be there for a
well,
while.
left to right, then it was.
Well, it makes sense. I'd like to give it to the detective. He'll be able to.
Yeah, he'll be the most aware.
You don't
We'll
wanna
get
look
to the
at-
bottom of that.
He'll be able. Well, why don't we have a quick look until he
Well,
gets up?
you don't want to look at it right away. Let's do that first. So we put our stuff in the other rooms, and then we'll go. Because that way we're not invading someone else's privacy. I have a very extensive skincare routine. I don't want you guys to see that. It's very personal.
Okay. So heading into the room, it is identical to your own. It has been cleaned because there's been enough time that they have checked out and it has been cleaned so that future people can take it, and as you begin to walk around, it's close to spotless. One of you like to make a spot hidden check to see if anything's been left behind or intentionally obscured?
Just one of us, or?
The three of you can do it if you're all going to sink a little while. And you are basically, that being said, you're kind of taking, you're taking the bed clothes off and stuff. You're making, actually, sorry, one of you are sleeping here, so it doesn't do that. Yeah, that's fine. You're making
There's
it.
always something.
All of us?
Go for it, yeah. But it's going to be difficult, so let me know.
Nah.
Terrible fail. Would be a fumble, but I have over 50. So we're all
Okay, that's good.
Well, I'll give you a point of luck for a hard success.
Okay, alright.
If that's going to get me anything,
You can spend the point.
I will.
Alright, go for it. The point of luck is spent, and as you go through the area, you begin to trawl through all the different sections. It looks like, unfortunately, this place is empty. You take it back and you tear it down from the top down. You check under the bed, nothing there. You squeak along the floorboards to see if anything gives way. That's a good one. Nothing there. You, for a moment, wonder if gas will be released if you push on things. You can cover your... No, that doesn't happen either. No, unfortunately. These guys are careful enough that they didn't leave anything. Or if it did, it got picked up by housekeeping and is being held and lost and found.
Housekeeping, eh?
Yep, again, if it's there.
I mean, what would they have left behind, really?
Well, people like this who think they know what's best for the world, they tend to get overconfident and they tend to get careless. That's what I think.
We do need some kind of clue as to where they went. It's pretty big mountain, and we do have your terrible car, which apparently people are really interested in. Don't really get the country. Anyway, we need to find something that will point us in the right direction.
I'm sure I can charm my way into lost and found. Talking to housekeeping.
I could do that. I'm concerned more as to whether if anyone here would even know. I mean, would they have gone around telling people?
As I said, it was a big party.
That's true.
It just takes one of them to get
Sounds
careless
like
enough
there
to let
was-
something slip.
21 of them, at least. That's quite a few people. I mean, this list of people here is only 6. So it sounds like they were recruiting more people than we think they were.
The list we found was only in Argus's office.
It might be multiple.
Perhaps Font Nellie's reach is a little bit further afield.
Or it could have been the only ones that he left behind, or it could have been local labourers that he was bringing up to. I mean, they said there was a bunch of tough people. From what we've heard, the people on that list weren't necessarily tough people. Maybe he's
met
getting.
some weird, tough people just before. Maybe we should go talk to them.
It's-
Very nosy people. Maybe they interrogated some other people.
Well, you don't think they were just being curious about a big old city car coming into town?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They were very nosy. Maybe they were nosy about a group of 20 beefy dudes who were really into digging all of a sudden.
It's getting a little late. I feel a little concerned about gallivanting around in the middle of the night. Why don't we have a rest for this evening? Set up in our rooms. Besides, I think, judging by the beeline that Detective DeMartino made for the bar, he might be out for the evening. So why don't we rest tonight and we try and look into things in the morning? Maybe you and Mr. DeMartino can go and try and speak to these young people, and the two of us can head into the general store and see if we can try and track down where Ferdinand Argus and his crew went to.
That does
Fine
sound like a
plan.
good plan. Maybe we should go get some food and try and get some food into Nick so he doesn't rupture his liver or something.
I hear the fish is excellent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's no water. Is there any water nearby?
There's a river.
Oh, okay.
It's on the Hudson
So
River.
it's on the
Oh,
river.
it's on the river. Okay, cool.
The river you considered hiding a dead body in.
very
It's a big
down here.
river.
It is a
right?
big river.
It's
There's
a big, and it was.
definitely
It
some
would have
bodies
been
in there.
downstream.
Just saying.
Just somewhere like a couple fish killed for one
I
man.
wasn't there for that. Where did the body end up?
I don't remember.
You buried it
In
Yeah.
a game.
on the burnout track.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. With your handy shovels.
Don't worry, it's in a place that no one will find it.
Well, at least not for 5 days.
You're just not gonna question.
So well hidden, I don't know
Right.
where it is. I was there.
I legitimately don't. I blocked that all out.
That's probably for the best, to be honest. Alright. Downstairs, how deep are you?
I feel like I'm fairly
Alright,
deep.
do you make a constitution roll
Yeah.
then, please?
Alright.
So that's going to protect him from sanity loss.
Shot.
If
Shot.
he gets down
Shots.
far enough, yeah.
Oh, I'm also not very good at
What's your
take a
con?
drink. Oh, my con is very low. Yeah, I failed.
Alright. Yeah, unfortunately, you feel really, really awful. Pretty much everything you do is going to be harder. Although, it's kind of just making you want to drink more. You are just on this and you're riding it through. Now, this is probably... Is this an old habit that Nick's falling back into, or
Yeah.
or is this a temporary
Oh.
solution for a temporary problem?
Are we going to?
It's a coping mechanism.
Okay.
If nothing else. When the gloves are on, he doesn't have a problem with it. It's self-medication.
Alright. Okay. As the two of you head down to head into Sparky's.
3 of us?
Oh, is it all 3 of you?
I think so.
I'll go and help load the rest of the stuff. I feel like the...
Okay, you're gonna help out
yeah,
the clock.
yeah.
No worries. Alright, there's the two of you head into Sparky's. You can see Nick on one end with the bottle significantly lower than when you last saw him, and the bartender not needing to give him any more drinks, just off to the side and just keeping he's making sure he doesn't fall out of the chair at least. That would be a bad look. But there's no one else in here, so he's not really gonna kick him out.
I think we should do something about this. He's not going to be any use to us tomorrow if we don't. Could you talk to him?
That's true. The detective! How you feeling tonight, buddy?
Yeah. That's all good. Yeah.
Having a good night off?
Yeah.
You know, we need to be bright and early tomorrow. Make sure we figure out
Yeah,
what these
should be
guys are
fine.
up to.
Should be fine. Yeah.
Alright, so that sounds like it's about time for bed. What do you reckon?
I think one more.
Oh, I don't think so. I think let's get some food into you.
No, I think I need one
Can
more.
I'm going to order like 3 of the fish of the day.
Fish,
Yeah.
in whatever form it comes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Fish
Three
of
fishes.
yesterday.
Do you want to make a charm check to try and coax him back with your friendly voice and promise of fish and bed?
Detective, come and get some fish.
Team.
Oh!
What did you roll?
91.
Oh man.
Over 85. I think it's more amusing if I fail to check.
Okay, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Nick, this guy he's been into up to shit
You can't
every
help
day.
You can't help me. You go with no one.
Oh my God.
Of course we can help you, detective. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help each other. We're going to get to the bottom of the case.
Oh.
I'm gonna. I have 54 fighting brawl.
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, oh yes.
Can I
Give me
try? Can I try and like? So there's like the bar and there's the like booths. Could
Yeah,
I
all
maybe
the
get your
red
help?
vinyl seats.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't mind trying to like just drag him away from the bar.
Alright.
This is not productive.
Let me make-
For the record, you are stronger, bigger, and have a bit more constitution than I am.
Can you make
That
a
is
fighting brawl
true.
test, and we'll do it a contest. You go ahead
Yeah.
and roll
Where's
against
my
him.
other D10?
Nick?
Am I going insane? It's right here.
Yes.
And you're drunk as well, Nick.
So it's good. So,
Oh, so it's-
additional degree of difficulty. So
Yeah.
roll
The negative
one extra
dice.
dice.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Okay. That's a fail.
I passed my.
That
Pass.
one. Yeah, that's a success, but I failed.
Alright, yeah, you're kind of flailing a little bit, and you grab onto it's got a golden rail that runs the whole length of it. You grab onto it as Edie picks you up and begins to heave you away as you just go, no! No! As you do,
So,
you see
fine.
inside his coat, which has fallen open, there is a letter which has been recently opened, and all you can see is Institute written on one of the sides as he tries to hold on and then gets pulled off and chucked into the seat, where you sort of slump down. His drink is left on the bar.
And there it shall stay.
And there it shall stay. And as you just sort of sit there, taking in a moment, after a little while, 3 fishes arrive, are set before you, and are perfectly edible. Nothing more.
No.
I'm gonna
Nothingness.
eat a little bit.
Yeah,
Can we
Have
get some
fish DeMartino.
We get some breadsticks as well.
yeah, they're
Get
endless.
lots of breadsticks in him.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
breadsticks. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
eat part of the
breadsticks.
fish.
I want breadsticks.
Alright. Push the steamed vegetables and whatever comes to fish away, and begin to power through breadsticks.
You know, Detective, we need your full attention on this case here. It could get a little bit dangerous. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'd want to know if there's anything distracting you. Did you get any bad news recently?
I don't know if it's bad news.
Well, if it's news, then we want to know about it.
She says it's so good.
Trouble at home?
She says it's fine.
Oh. Well, if there's one thing I know about women, when they say it's fine, it's fine. Good to hear it.
It's fine. I'm not gonna say anything.
I pull out the letter,
Yeah.
and I throw the letter down on the table.
Alright.
It's just-
I grab it.
Alright, you immediately pick it up.
Presume
And
that
you
it
can
was
see
read
that it
yet.
has been opened previously. Have you read it since then? Is it like like you've opened
Yeah,
it and
yeah,
read
yeah.
it several times? In the car, you also saw him. He kept on pretending like he was reading the books that he brought with him, but oftentimes he actually had what looked like possibly a sheet of paper behind it. And it looks like he's read it several times.
So it says various things. We didn't know you had a sister.
Does it say
DeMartino.
sister?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I thought it did. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Shit, sorry.
Nora, huh?
This is my
Special someone?
This is my sister.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she's in an institute
Yeah,
for parapsychological studies
they took.
in Woodstock.
She's a doctor?
No, Vanderbilt.
They took her away. They took her away. They knew she was different. And they took her away.
How long has she been in there, DeMartino? How long has it been since you've seen her?
20 years?
20 years.
Maybe more.
Does she ride often?
She moved on. No.
Well, it says she's fine.
She's not fine. Something's wrong. She needs help.
Well, and I'm not saying that we're doing that, but she isn't far away. So if something, I just feel like we need to focus on this first, and we can't really be dealing with this right now.
Well, it's his sister, and family comes first. At the end of the day, we need his full attention on the case. Look, we're heading up that way anyway. We could cut across to Woodstock before we head up to the mountains.
And if something is seriously wrong with her, we have to babysit again. Is that an ideal outcome?
Not ideal, but it's manageable.
You do that for me?
How'd you like that? You want to go see Nora?
How much she's okay?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure she's fine, buddy.
No, she's bad.
We'll go there and find out ourselves. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, fish time. Fish.
Eat all of it.
I don't like
He's
fish.
paying. He's paying. Eat all of it.
Oh, what do you like? We can get you something else. Have some more breadsticks.
You want some nachos? Is that a thing that's in? 'Cause I want
Weed
some-
engineering! Nacho!
What if
It's
we
my
got
favorite
some
use
chips?
of weed
You want
engineering.
to smash some tomato and put them on corn chips? I'm sold.
What if we then got some avocados and some lemon and other things that go in guacamole?
As I said, cheese has to be involved at some
Oh,
point. But,
Cheese has already been invented, David.
Weird science. No one has invented cheese.
What if we got some milk?
All of these weird sciences just have massive ramifications going back.
Guys, what if we got a circular-shaped disc and attached it to an axle?
That's pretty good. I was thinking tea, but yeah.
Of course, like the greatest of weird sciences, the wheel.
And squares.
Yeah.
Alright, Nick works through a second barrel of breadsticks.
Cool.
That's what they come in. And the bill is tried straight to your room. What do you want to help the clerk?
I help the clerk, and then I join Mr. Van der Van and start suggesting we really should be getting up to rest, and all the rest of it. Although I spot Nick and kind of nod. Is he all right?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He had a bit of bad news in the mail, but it's fine. We're gonna deal with it tomorrow.
Well, what's happened?
We'll just have to swing by Woodstock on our way up to the mountains and check in with his sister.
Okay.
Just checking, either of you bring any alcohol?
No, I didn't bring
You
anything.
didn't bring any Van Van?
No,
Did you bring
there's
any,
usually a
Nick?
bar.
In a flask?
I don't.
Okay,
I
good.
don't drink.
Okay, good. I just want to check.
I think he's pretty... Not only that, I think he definitely has alcohol. I think you're pretty clear he does.
Okay, cool. Can we go through his stuff real quick? Hey Nick, if you had a flask, what would you prefer, like silver, or would you prefer more of like a traditional, like a wood grain look? Like if you had to choose, hypothetically.
It's not in my sock compartment.
Okay, great.
It's not there.
Alright. So you head back to toss the room for the second time, having half made the bed and now realizing he's never gonna notice, so you just kind of leave it. How much alcohol do you reckon you had on you? Just like a flask?
Probably not a huge amount.
Because you didn't exactly intend on going on a bender. You probably just had like a
No.
bottle and a flask, so you could just have it
Yeah.
on the road.
And
Alright.
as long as I don't use my abilities, I don't need to drink.
Yep. Alright. Those can be taken from him, and you can, Mr. Van der Van, are you gonna be?
Are we sure we should be taking these? He might need them.
I think we should just
I-
hold on to him for safekeeping, but there's no
Yes.
reason to tip him out.
All right. Sure.
Alcohol is like antiseptic, is that a thing?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Would we know
Sterilizes.
that?
You have first aid, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Could
do.
be useful.
Yeah, that absolutely could be useful. Or it's also
I mean,
Mr.
there's, like,
DeMartino's property.
There's, like medicinal stuff.
Or whatever,
You
we've
could
done
go
worse.
before,
Yes, you are right. Well, we should just let him sleep and kind of put a blanket over his lying down body on the bed.
Yeah, well, I'll stumble up like face first and go.
In fact,
Immediately snoring.
Mr. Van der Van, if you can take care of yourself, I might stay with Mr. DeMartino to
Oh,
make sure
yes.
he's okay.
By all means.
All right, and I'll just sit and keep watch and make sure he doesn't swallow his tongue.
Alright, there's one of those chairs
Yep.
next to it that's not particularly comfortable, but you can steal one of the pillows or wrestle it from him when he's not
Over
looking.
the face.
Yep, very
And,
nice.
Yeah.
Has a little snozzle. Edie, you retire as well. Alright. And as you all head off to bed, there's a rap on your door.
On my door.
Yeah, just as you're getting to sleep. And it's the clock and says, Mr. Van der Van, I'm sorry, there's a call for you.
Oh, shoot, the lawyers.
You start up in bed.
The police.
Do you
I was
say
meant
that?
to, yeah.
Do you say that out loud to the page one?
Oh, and a message for me from New York?
No, they're still on the line, I think. I couldn't get much out of it.
Oh, that's alright. I was meant to call them. It's my fault. Sorry for getting you out of bed.
No, that's all right, sir. They're on the level. If you'd like to just take
yes.
a call, or I can have them call you back.
Well, why don't I call them from my... Well, no, I'll come with you. I won't trouble you any further.
As you please, sir. Door opens and he steps to the side. This way, and he begins to walk quickly down the hall. It's muffled by the rug, and as he gets to the end, there is a phone pushed into the thing far enough away that you would have some privacy in conversation. He pointedly steps far enough away that he won't eavesdrop, and just gestures to it for you to take it.
Hello, Van der Van.
You just hear silence for a moment.
Pete? Is that you? I'm sorry I forgot to call. Listen, it's quite late. Here I am in Socrates. What more do you need to know?
You hear like something shifting, and almost like a.
Hello? Look, the line's quite bad. Can you hear me?
Just continues making that same sound, and you hear a... And there's a sliding sound. And he goes...
I'm gonna hold the phone as Justin and go, does this sound weird to you? Is it a problem with the line? Problem with the phone?
We get line problems sometimes when he takes it. He goes, hello? I don't think there's anyone there. Hello? I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, that's quite
I assure you, there was a gentleman on the line earlier. He hangs up. Spoken very, little strangely, but a lawyer or something, asking after you, asking where you would be.
Yes. Can I call out from my room?
There's no phones in the room, sir. But you're free to use this one.
Oh, great.
And he pulls out like a 25% piece. He goes, and here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Of
You
course.
know, I don't often carry coins.
Rude to presume, sir. But and he steps to the side again and waits in case
All
you need
right.
any help.
No, all good. I'll call my lawyers back.
All right, you punch it in, and you hear it ring, for a moment, and you eventually hear
Pete, sorry about the line trouble there. Can you hear me now?
William?
Yeah, just returning your call. I couldn't quite hear you.
What time is it?
Yeah. I just woke you up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, listen.
I was meant to call you when I got in. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's I figured it might be a day or two. I didn't know where you'd be set up. So where are you based?
Socrates right now, but we'll be heading up to the mountains, I think, tomorrow. Maybe up around to Woodstock. We'll see where it takes us.
Okay, Socrates, Woodstock, and mountains. Okay, all right. Listen, sorry, are you heading off early tomorrow? Can I call you then? It's just it's late here.
Oh yeah, of course. It's late here. We're in the same time zone. But that's fine.
He goes,
You're
yeah, all right, well,
time.
yeah,
Oh, it must be in mountain time. Of course. I forgot.
We're in
that gets you an
Colorado.
hour. He goes, all right, okay, I'll talk to you then, Mr. Vanderbilt.
All right, very good.
And he hangs up.
No.
Wait a second.
No.
Then who was calling me?
Jacob says, he goes, another problem with the line, sir?
Oh no, that was just fine. But you know, I just called back who I thought I was talking to, but that first caller, I actually wasn't sure who that was. They didn't give a name?
He does like, wow. No, they didn't. They said they were a lawyer, and they asked after you specifically, so I just presumed.
It's probably fine. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Sorry to trouble you again.
No, that's all right. Can I get you a cup of tea or anything?
Oh,
before
that'd be
bed, or-
fine.
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right. Well, thanks again, Mr. Vanderven, and I'll be right up.
My pleasure. Maybe.
He was beginning to go, and he immediately wheels back around and goes, "Thanks, sir. Your tea will be right there." And he heads off towards the lifts.
All right.
All right. Head to bed. The tea. It's probably left outside your door and cold in the morning when you get up, when you forget to get it, or it's there if you want it. Otherwise, though, sleep takes all of you, and you wake up early. It's cold here, but it's one of those ones where I don't know if you guys have that, but when it's cold and you have a ton of Doonas on, it's pretty much the best. So it's
Until you have to get
that's
out
my
of the
fantasy
bed.
right now. So we're doing that. So it's fairly comfortable, but you wake up with pretty nasty hangover, and Jose, are you a snorer or?
I think I snore a little bit when I get really tired.
Okay, all right. Well, as each of you begin to rouse and head downstairs, before we plan our day, we'll take a quick break. So we will be back in 10 minutes. We'll put up a timer and everything, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.
That's why I
Actually-
was losing my fucking
back.
mind. Oh, did you just? Oh my god.
What?
Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
We're live currently.
Yeah.
Oh wow, let's not talk about Russia.
About any revelations that may or may not be had. No, we're back.
Okay, cool. Cool,
Yeah,
everyone.
we got coffee and we're all riled up and ready to go. So, as morning breaks, the four of you convene downstairs at Sparky's. They do an excellent breakfast spread. There's eggs, bacon, sausagey things, all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty good.
No sausages. They can't legally call them sausages.
You
No,
want some-
they're
They're sausagey things.
yeah, exactly.
Why can't they legally call them sausages? Are sausages copyrighted?
No,
I know because
they're
they're
like-
50%
like,
sawdust.
In a like a
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
a food advertising sense.
Yeah.
They're not legally sausages.
And sausages were pretty
Oh yeah,
sus to
already
begin
fairly
with.
suspicious,
Like,
yeah. Exactly.
if you don't meet that minimum requirement, what
Enjoy
else?
the meat.
There's a couple other tenants. No, what's it called when you're in a
Guests.
hotel? Guests. Thank you. Good grief.
Technically, you're a tenant.
Yeah, I feel like
Very
tenants are
short
longer
term.
term when you pay more money.
Yeah, guest.
Anyway, there's a couple more guests at the place that are scattered around. This is a much too large restaurant to be needed for all of them, so they are scattered to the four winds on tables. But the four of you can have a quiet conversation, or a loud one. I'll tell you what, I'll leave that in your court.
I'm gonna. You want some coffee, DeMartino?
Yeah, thank you, Edie.
Aspirin, which definitely exists.
I'm sure you've invented something.
Weird sound. Let's drill into your skull.
Yeah, whatever will make this stop. I'll go on that deathbed again if it made me. Oh,
You picked up the coffee machine across the way. It makes a high-pitched ding
Ah.
every minute or two, and it just seems to just drive right through your skull and to resound in your brain.
I'm gonna make you some rice.
Yeah. You know what? That's
I can.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
know
car.
if that's the answer to my problems.
Are you aware that you talk in your sleep, detective?
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, that's not good.
Anyway,
What did I happen to? Well, don't just lead with that.
nothing incriminating in the court of law.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
That's not what I'm worried about. All right. I'm sorry about last night, guys. I don't know what came over me. Anyway, it won't happen again. I promise. Okay.
Last night you said you wanted to go see your sister. Do you still want to do that?
Did I?
Yeah, you really did, because we're not very far from Woodstock, and I was concerned it might derail the investigation a little, but
But I insisted. If it would help keep your mind on the job, then it's the least we can do.
I'd probably appreciate that.
The time and the place lines up. I don't think it's a big trouble.
The only thing we should do before we head up to Woodstock is we should have a quick word with the general store owner.
I agree. Also, do we know where? Did you boys find out where Sterling went and Fontanelli? Fontanelli's.
Well, we know that.
Up the mountains.
But whereabouts? The mountains is quite a broad area.
Yeah, probably the hilly ones. I got a good hunch.
Yeah, what's your hunch?
We'll find a trail. We'll go up the mountains and see where it takes
Again,
us.
there are a lot of trails up those mountains. We
There
should
are.
probably find some a little bit more concrete. Not to say that there's multiple drives up into those mountains.
Well, they went shopping at the general store for equipment, so that's how our first part of call is to find out what they bought and figure out if we.
Yeah, that's
can
not a
figure out
bad
where they
idea.
went.
Yeah, I can see that being an advantage.
and I met these two guys, the Weblings. They seem like pretty nosy, friendly people. They might have seen some people come through, might know approximately where they went.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of was mean to them. Do I know where they are? Like, would I surround?
Not immediately.
If they kick up trouble, then
No,
I'm
we're gonna
sure they're not
keep
too
an
hard
eye
to
out
find.
for 'em.
Remember,
You know, I could also. There must be some sort of vestiges of law around here. I could speak to them mano a mano, cop to cop. You know.
that's a good idea.
The other thing is we did flip over your room. Your room was the one that was rented previously by Fontanelli and the gang. We didn't find anything, but you're welcome to have a look as well.
Oh, okay. Look, I guess if they didn't leave anything, I trust y'all.
We looked pretty thoroughly, and there was, even if they left fingerprints, it looks like it's all been cleaned.
Yeah.
What?
Finger what?
Weird.
Yeah.
Fingerprint.
They're so smooth.
I think they've just been invented.
Yeah, I don't
What?
think.
Yeah.
Look, there's a new type of policing about forensic and whatnot. That's not my really
Forensic?
area of expertise.
Newfangled.
I'm about people, gut instincts, and a third thing that I keep to myself. But we won't go there.
Who's Renzik, and why is it for them?
Exactly.
Scotland Yard starting using fingerprinting in 1901.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's pretty. I think it's something
Yeah,
exact science.
I think that we should have a look at
I think the general store is a good place to start.
Well, we'll head to the general store. Why don't you head and speak to the police and see if you can have a word with them. And if you can find these two people, remember that Fontanelli said that the 20 people that they were with looked like tough sorts. It's possible that they were gathering locals for something. Maybe they were approached as well.
Or
Well, maybe the general store would know who they are and where to find them. I don't even know where they work or what they do, if anything.
You know what? If they're troublemakers, they probably
They didn't seem like troublemakers, just nosy.
Right. Well, I was going to say maybe the police would know where they are more than
true.
a general store owner. So if the
I feel
two
like-
of you wanted to,
But also, I think the 20 people came from New York
probably.
because they got rooms at the hotel.
Yeah,
If they lived here, they would have slept. They wouldn't have needed rooms at the hotel.
That's a
Unless
good
there were
point.
more than 20 people who went up the mountain, see?
Yeah, it's quite possible.
Or if they were from a different part, they could be from Woodstock, say.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of investigative work to do here.
Shall we meet back here just after lunch and then we can head up to Woodstock?
Sounds
Yeah,
like a good idea.
I reckon that'll work.
Or can I come with you, because I don't think it matters either way. So
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the two of you are going to go find a local law
Yeah.
presence. And you two are going to the general store. Okay. Alright, so heading out into the street, it's a fairly sprawling town, and you begin walking. You ask around a little bit, and there is a local constabulary, police presence, and heading in, you find a small office. It's very mundane. There's a couple of cells further back where people can held, but they would probably, if there was a larger problem, it would go back to New York or somewhere else, or get assistance. But that being said, this is probably the largest one in this region, all the Catskill and that area around. There's probably about, I don't want to throw a number because I'm going to undershoot, but I reckon like 10 plus, ish, like detectives actively there at the moment. And
Or
working. So
officers rather than
officers,
detectives.
No, they're all got
They're all
sheriff
detectives.
things and- Who are you? You can get a meeting with the local head, chief, whatever.
Yeah.
The head chief.
Whatever it may be.
I feel like sheriff's a little too folksy, but I like folksy, so sheriff. So there's a sheriff towards the back who you can speak with. Do you introduce yourself as a detective, as a
Yeah,
fellow
absolutely.
cop?
That's the whole. I present my badge and my thing, and I
Gun.
yeah.
Here to see your sheriff.
Hey, how you doing, Sheriff? Look,
Just quickly before you get in, what are you saying you're there to talk about?
I'm saying I'm looking for Fontanelli
Okay.
because he is a person of interest in a case that I am working on from Brooklyn.
Okay, alright. Yeah, you can be spoken to at least. The two of you can step inside. The sheriff will introduce himself to both of you. His name is Sheriff Pucks. And he'll shake both your hands. Pucks. Pucks. Sheriff
okay,
Pucks.
we don't need to spell it.
I assume Pucks.
Pucks. Yeah.
Cool.
And there's a couple of chairs across from the desk from him. He shakes both of your hands, sits down, and says, "So, Fontanelli, was it?"
Yeah, we're looking for a Mr. Fontanelli. Look, Chef, this is your territory. I don't want to step on your toes here. I'm just trying to chase down.
Yeah, no, there's no trouble. Listen, what do you want to know? I mean, there was a group of folks came through a little while ago, but ain't make any trouble. So,
How
they
long
ca-
ago?
gosh.
What's the date today again? It's like the 19th.
It was the 9th.
Oh,
10th.
it's been like a week.
It's been like a week plus. He thinks like the 3rd or the 4th.
Did they stay in the town long, or they just move on through? Were they here like at
a
night?
day maybe. I didn't see him myself. I just heard that. You know, word travels, I guess.
Do you happen to know where they went?
I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry, but is this an official investigation you're chasing them under, or?
Yeah, they're not a suspect, just a person of interest. We need to question them about their whereabouts on a certain day, but
Well, if it's after the 3rd, they're probably in the mountains.
it's the 1st of May. Their whereabouts on the 1st of May.
Okay.
I look. I don't know. You know what happens. When you run out of leads, you chase up anything. This is the last thing
Yeah,
I
well-
got.
You're chasing a long way, detective.
Yeah, well, I got. What can I say? I've got nothing else going on in my life. Yeah.
So you just in town now, then, huh? And you. All right. Well, listen. Well, they didn't cause any trouble, like I said. If they're up in the mountains and you want to try and find them, probably want a ranger or something, but trails are a little dangerous at the moment. I wouldn't advise you head up there yourself. Listen, maybe,
Do you know anyone who might be like a good local guide or anything like that, who might know their way up those mountain paths?
A ranger,
yeah,
in particular.
Yeah.
ranger, yeah, I mean, we can put you with one of our guys. They're kind of busy, and no offense, this sounds like a goose chase. But there's locals that'd be interested, sure. I mean, I think the Weblands just drove them up there not long ago and only just got back, so take it up with them. They can probably give you a lift up.
Can
Do
we
you
get
know-
their address, please?
Do you know those guys? They like.
Yeah. They,
What's their like employment around this area?
Look,
Right.
probably.
Yeah, okay.
They
Is it
do
just-
odd jobs, and they have. Look, they're rough. They're not bad, right? They're on a path. We're writing them up. Honest work, pay for service will probably.
Are they
set them up.
ex-cons?
They've been in here a couple times, and they have some. Let's say. Look, I mean, look who's in the room right now. Like, I'm not racist. I think you guys are great, but I mean, those guys are. Look, again, like I was saying, I think he kind of he bites on his tongue a little bit. He goes, no. Anyway, those guys. Anyway, there's a couple of groups, some the radios these days. I mean, it puts ideas in your head. Anyway, what was that?
Hang on a second.
Yeah,
Did I notice they were like?
they were a little off-putting, but no, they didn't seem super.
No, were they like people of color? Like, did I just not notice, or like?
No, they were white.
Oh, okay.
No, he's implying they're racist.
I thought he was
like
implying.
the
they-
evil-
Sorry, no, yeah,
I was like,
I may have
what?
bottled that. No,
Yeah.
he's saying they're racist.
Oh.
Oh.
He goes, and I mean, the radios these days, right? Like, there's all sorts of crazy. Anyway, right, well, I got, days
So-
getting on.
That's the
And he
one.
stands up.
Look, just give us the address where you normally find those two.
Look, I can't just give out addresses. Do you want your call? Do you want to make a credit rating test I could see, which is kind of you being like, hey, I'm on the level, I'm one of y'all. Or you could go a persuade or possibly a charm.
Yeah,
Try and
I
get
was gonna be like, look, why don't look if you do put cop to cop, man. Let's you do me this favor. Sometime down the road, if you got a lead in New York, I'll do you a favor. Man, we're all on the same side here.
All right, gotta make a persuasion check. I'm gonna say it's hard.
Yeah, that's fine.
Given you are, from his perspective, you are a cop who has chased a nothing lead from 2 weeks ago up into the Catskill Mountains, and you don't even know why you're doing it.
What's your persuasion?
I nailed it. I got a success 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Look, he kind of goes, honestly, he probably supposed to throw you a bone at this point. He kind of goes, yeah, all right, okay, look, detective, they're not far from here. They got a little shack just outside of town. Otherwise, they're probably drinking somewhere. And you can probably...
Is it just the two of them? There's no other family members?
No, they take care of themselves. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
they've been doing it for, God knows how long.
And And in terms of like a guide of the mountains, there's no one else that
I mean,
might
you're
be.
free to ask around, but
All right. Thanks for your help, thanks for your help, Chef. I
yeah,
appreciate
alright.
it.
Take it easy, detective.
Will do.
Good luck with
If you're
your
ever
lead.
if you're ever in Brooklyn, no, don't hesitate to stop by.
Alright. Doesn't seem super eager.
Yeah.
And, you close the door and you can head back out on the street. Where are you guys aiming to go? Or-
Those boys seem to be getting up to trouble.
They just seem to be strange people.
Yeah, but they also know where the where Fontanelli went. They took him up there. He
Yeah,
said.
but I mean, they did come back. It's not like they were recruited.
No, I agree. But
They were a little weird, though.
yeah, and they also might not be the kind of people we want to be hanging around.
Well, we could just find out where they took them.
Yeah, but I also think we'll still need a guide for these mountains. Look at us. None of us
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
outdoorsmen.
Yeah, so we'll get the Weblins to tell us where Fontanelli went, then we'll get some other guy to
Yeah.
take us up the mountain. Remember, we've got Vander Richman over here.
Oh yeah, he could just pay anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good resource, actually.
He's
yeah.
kind of a dick, though.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes.
I kind of hate that guy.
Yeah, speak the truth.
I'm so glad he's not here so we can talk shit about him.
Look, let's go check out on these Weblins and see if we can put pressure on them. Do you want to be a good cop or a bad cop?
I don't know, man. I mean, you're the cop. Which cop are you normally? I can just be the other cop. Which cop is easier to be?
I'll tell you what, why don't I be both cops? And you can come too.
I'm
Look-
the intern.
Yeah!
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Well, they know me, so I'll just go up and
You
pretend
were- you
I
were
give a
ki-
shit about
You were
cops.
kind of the bad cop earlier, weren't you?
Yeah.
You were kind of standoffish. I could be like a bit more friendly.
It's just my personality.
Yeah, I know. Let's go check out. All right.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are heading to where you think the Weblins are based?
Yeah.
Alright, no worries. Alright, two of you guys going towards the general store. There's a couple around, but there is one that is markedly bigger. Heading inside, they have rows upon rows of things for local farming areas and a lot of little bundles that are specifically geared at tourists. It's like, what level of hike are you doing and how many rations do you need?
Well, we've
guy?
already got all the supplies we could possibly need. So.
As you're going past, it's like ski shoes and rope, harnesses. There's everything. If you thought you needed something, you could get it here, but you're pretty kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys don't know what they're doing, do they? No.
As we approach, I'll say to Mr. Van der Van, say, so if it's, I'll let you do the talking. And
Oh, yeah.
If it starts to go messy, then I'll step in and yell at someone.
I like it. Business as usual.
Alright, you head up to the front where there's an older gentleman who sees you coming and goes, "Hiya!
Hey, Vanderven, William Vanderven.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Van der Van. What can I do for you?"
A pleasure to meet you, Mr.
Handsome.
Hanson.
Hanson and handsome.
That's very good.
Yeah.
We're looking for some folks who might have come through here recently. We're trying to catch up to them.
Friends of yours?
Something like that.
You know, it's
yeah.
better to hike with friends. That way, if something goes wrong, there's someone there to get you back.
That's true. So we're looking to catch up with them as soon as possible. There's a group of about 20 of them or so coming through here.
20 friends in this day. What a dream.
So just
Yeah. I had a whole lot of them come through. No, yeah, lovely folks.
Oh,
Lovely
really?
Folks. Yeah, real charming.
Excellent.
Well, no. Actually, no, a bit rude.
Oh.
Bit rude. Yeah, no, so, oh, look, God. You got a bit of hike ahead of you then, because, God, they got some gear and they've got a heck of a head start,
Yeah.
if you don't mind the swearing.
Well, where are they? Where are they off to?
Well, they're headed up the, and again, don't mind the swearing, but the devil's path.
The devil's path, you say?
That's the one. Straight to hell. Heck.
The Devil's Pass Trail, number 8 on the.
Oh, you got a map!
We do.
You must have been at the Grand Exchange. What a heck of a swell hotel.
We were. That Justin really runs a tight ship.
Oh, does he ever?
Yeah, he does.
I think it's Jacob.
It is Jacob.
No, it was Justin.
Well, sir, I'll leave it with you.
Great. So if we wanted to head up the Devil's Pass as well, where would we get best to get started?
Well, there's a couple of little routes you can take, and there's
Yeah.
a couple of sneaky side entrances if you're willing to do some hiking. Would you say you're an expert hiker?
Intermediate.
Okay, alright. Well, I picked you for an expert, but alright, look. Humility will get you everywhere. So what I would suggest is you get a couple of these packs over here, and he points to some of the gear layouts, and you get some of that. And look, if you want to head up around the sides, you can probably get a bit of a head start on your friends. Otherwise, there's a couple of driving paths that can get you real close to the beginning, but there's not a car getting up the Devil's Path.
You know what happens? We were hoping to stop by Woodstock. Is that someone on the way?
Oh, charming area. No, though. Unfortunately, not really on the air, in the direction. Although, that could take you up to Mink Hollow Road, and then from there, if you're into a little cross country, you could make your way there, sure.
All right.
Where are you planning to meet your friends?
Well, we're not too sure where they're headed. It's something of a scavenger race, I guess you could say.
Hot dog. A scavenger race?
Yeah. Did they? What? You know, it'd help us out a lot if they dropped any hints about what exactly they were up to.
Hints, yeah, well, God.
What did you overhear?
I got a keen ear for things. Hey, can you give me a charm check?
Darn tootin' I can.
Hot dog.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good?
Success 2.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, look. I mean, the guy. What was it? There was clearly one that was at the head of him, and he was I don't mean to say, but gosh, his mother must have been glad when he left the house. Not a looker. And he bought a whole lot of dried goods and stuff. Looks like they were planning on getting up there and staying for a little while. So I suppose if your scavenger hunt's part of it, maybe you want to, plan to camp for a little while. They also, they were asking for a few different areas. Might not be just going to the one, so the Devil's Path might not get you the whole way. They had a couple drivers that were taking them up there, and well, gosh, I mean, they only got a few hours up, but those Weblin boys seem pretty happy to see him be, so I presume they got up there happy and healthy.
Right. We could probably chat to them and see exactly where they're up to.
I don't mean to gossip, but those Weblins, look, no one's ever been hurt from some kind words, but I'd just be careful talking to them. They can be. Well, they've known to get into a tumble or two.
Boys will be boys.
Oh, can I use that?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
come up with that?
Some have said that I may have.
That's good. That is good. Well, Mr.
Vandervan.
Vandervan.
Of
Well,
New York,
He goes, I don't think I do, but it seems charming. Looking behind you, see Vandervan written on like half of the thing. I was like, wow, well,
Vandervan's fan.
charming to meet you.
Yeah. You seem such an expert. We'd happily take your advice on some of the gear.
Oh, well, like I said, I can point you towards all sorts of packs and things, and we do the best deals this side of New York. And fortunately, I give you everything short of dynamite. We're all out.
We can just take everything they did.
Yeah,
to be sure.
That sounds like a plan,
Oh, gosh, you got 20 in your party as well?
Well, no, just the 4 of us, but yeah. Anything that'll help us catch up,
You'll be eating like kings then. All right, 20 servings of food then. Enough for a week. And he begins to loading stuff up. He is getting you enough for 20 people.
No, just the 4 of us, I said.
But you want enough for 20, the same as them.
Oh, per person.
Sure. It goes back to getting you 20 persons worth of stuff.
Well, all right then.
He goes,
Whatever you say.
Guy goes, well, I've been in this parts for a while, so don't you worry.
All right. We trust your judgment.
Yeah.
And
He gets to pile up stuff. There's enough, like, it would fill 2 trucks.
oh
possibly
no.
More.
Well, we'll call it when we get to the capacity of our
Okay, yeah,
our
so
truck,
gets
I
high
think.
enough, he gets, well, that's enough. He goes, well, sure, no harm, no foul, huh? Well, gosh, well, let me go ahead and write you up a bill of sale here, and you, how do you want to pay?
Oh, I think cash is fine. Let me have a look. What's my spending level like? My spending level is $250. That's gonna cover it, right?
It would actually, for once, be like $50. So, yeah, you're more than good.
Cash is fine.
All the
Yeah.
money happens.
slide across, and he is, oh gosh, he's just thrilled to see you. Come and go.
Oh, let me chuck in some gratuity on there as well.
Kind of.
Yeah. 20%, 25%? That sounds about right. I don't know.
Thank you. He's thrilled to have it.
Well, it's had such good advice. We'll sure be back if we're ever back in the area.
Sure hope you are. Alright. Okay, so he's kitted you out with all sorts of gear. Rope, grappling things, stuff for your boots. Boots! Not hats that aren't, fashionable for things. You will say, there's a lot of khaki in here, and it's kind of clashing. You're not really sure if it's your style, but if it's what the guy recommends, maybe it's best you wear it. So yeah, you're pretty good. That being said, there's no way this is fitting in the car. You filled the car to the gunnels with suits, bathtubs, and rice cookers.
That's true. We may have made some strategic miscalculations in the packing. Maybe we could leave some of it at the hotel.
That's what I was thinking. We can book out the hotel rooms for a while, leave our equipment in there, and then pack up the car with everything that was recommended until we return.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan.
All right, you guys head out and begin to load up the car with all the new gear. The two of you heading towards the outskirts. It's a bit of a walk now, and you're heading out in this area. You sort of bundled up a little bit, and it's cold, not freezing. It's it's just enough to be uncomfortable in the clothes you're wearing, because again, not really kitted for the weather. And people going back and forth here are a lot more rugged up than you are.
For once, the gloves don't stand
Oh yeah,
out.
the gloves are kind of, you're pretty pleased to have them on.
You're appropriately dressed.
You get towards a outskirts where there is a small, slightly run-down house. Parked out the back, you can see two large trucks, like canvas sheets over it, enough for ferrying troops or something. And they're kitted out with large wheels that have sort of chains over them, everything. What they need to actually ascend a mountain or something as needed. There's no one in sight, but you can see flickering light from inside, and you can hear a radio.
Very interesting. 1 second real quick, David.
Yep.
I just want to quickly say thank you to D20TV. He just rated us with like 12 people.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Thanks, man. That's awesome.
So welcome everyone.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Alright.
Maybe just quickly, because there might be some new people, can we just get like a 10-second rundown of where we are and what we're doing?
Yeah, that was smart. So, our investigators are on the trail of an occult person who thinks he can cast people back in time. They've journeyed out of New York, and they are currently at a small sort of village at the base of a larger mountainous terrain. They're trying to find out exactly where the people went and get themselves kitted out so they can actually find them and get there. Now, our 4 investigators have never left New York in their life, and so far they are proving...
Well, I'm from Panama.
Wait,
Oh yeah, okay, sorry, Panama, thank you, Lord. And yeah, I don't want to use the word inept, because that's...
No, I think it's accurate.
Alright,
No,
your
inept
word's
would
not
be
mine.
Intermediate.
Intermediate, yes, like your hiking level. Yeah, that's
We are playing Call of Cthulhu as well, just in
yeah,
case there's a total...
important to bring up.
Alright, what do the two of you want to do?
Well, I'm a New York City police detective.
Yeah,
I'm
and you
gonna
are
do
not in New York.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do some detecting.
Okay.
I wanna look around and look for clues.
So is there really no one here?
No, there's a
See,
radio
you can hear a
inside.
radio inside
right,
and
they're
lights on. They're
inside.
home, they're just not outside.
Yeah, and always remember, if we have reason to believe that they are in trouble inside, we can enter their house
Legally.
legally.
No.
Now I'd like to. I'd like to go look at the trucks and see if there's a map with a line drawn on the map of where
you
they
get towards
were.
the trucks, you have a slight spark, which is Edie would probably be really good at looking at trucks.
Yes.
You want to
Would
swap
be.
with me?
I will look at the trucks.
Okay, you go look at the trucks.
They
I'm gonna
only
go.
are trucks.
I think I might try to peek through a window and see what they're doing.
Alright.
If they're doing anything
Okay.
suspicious.
I'm gonna look at the trucks. They have metal things on the tires.
Yours are better.
Yeah, mine are better.
Alright, so you're going to get a look at the trucks and you're going to try and get up towards a window to see. Can you give me a stealth roll?
Yeah, I can.
And do you want to go, I guess, mechanical repair, engineering, your
I'll do
trade
mech
skill would
repair.
apply for construction of it?
Mech repair. Ooh, I'm gonna lock that down to a success too.
Okay.
Because I have 99 luck.
Oh my god.
god, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I'm on max luck.
Whereas I blew all mine
yeah,
in the
we
first
repaired-
session.
I know, we filled up luck today. No! And
Can I have
Rachel actually
99?
couldn't use enough.
Can I steal some of
No.
her luck and use it on mine?
You absolutely cannot. How'd you go, Nick?
Sprinkle some of that on
I
me.
did less well.
Yeah.
I think I kick a pipe or somewhere.
No, even better. You get up there and you're pretty sure you're on the scene for the moment. So we'll come to you.
Oh,
in a second.
awesome. Yeah, no, cool.
Alright, Edie, you get around to the trucks and begin to go over them. They are...
What? Keep talking. What?
Nothing, sorry. I thought of something funny. You get towards the trucks and you begin to go over them. They are in pretty good condition. There is mud all wedged into the tires, but they are...
Sorry.
It is dried over. They haven't been used in a little while. In the back, you can see tins that have rolled under the sides of things where stuff that was stored sort of broke apart a little bit and got pushed to the edges.
Yeah.
They are capable machines. They are basically... They were probably previously used to either ferry slate up from one of the mines back towards the factories and are no longer necessary. These could more than capably get up and down a mountain. And they could also... It'd be tight, but they could fit 20 people and some supplies.
Are they the only cars here? Are they like their only mode of transport?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so
They don't have a smaller...
they're not like dedicated vehicles. And is there anything... There's no like... You said there were like cans. Is there nothing else inside like the front?
Go a spot hidden check as you begin to go over the whole thing. You sort of wedge one of the doors open. With that mechanical repair, you could probably get into the front seat as well. You find a way to jimmy over the lock and get past it. How'd you?
Crit 1.
Crit, wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
For those wondering, in Call of Cthulhu, you try to roll under your skill number, and if you roll a 1, that is the lowest possible
best
number,
one
and it's
you
the
can
best
get.
one you
You're
can
the
roll.
best at Call of Cthulhu.
Hell yeah, I won today.
All right.
We're not getting
No,
into
that-
Because you
that's
can
also-
objectively win RPG.
All right.
I don't know, you came damn close.
You see a few things. One, there's a couple of beers in the cup holders from where they're driving, so that's just obviously that's not safe. There are 2 seats which are at the front, more comfortable, probably where whoever was leading this would be. You can see some sort of gum wrappers and things down the side, bit of old food, and just rubbish. And as you're looking through one of them, as you sort of push things aside, you see jammed down the bottom a old leather-bound journal.
I'm gonna grab it. Straight up grab it.
You grab it, and you
Yeah,
hop down, and as you open
What's
it,
inside it?
it has inside inscribed Leopold Fontanelli.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
fuck
Fontanelli's
oh my
journal.
gosh.
It's probably not the journal, but it looks like it is one of his. It's thin enough that it might not have a ton of records, and beginning to flip through it, it does have a few slightly interesting passages.
This is big.
This is what we call in the industry a big break.
So we can possibly figure out, we can confirm if Fontanelli was indeed trying to gather these people together from the list that we found, and we can confirm whether Fontanelli got more people and possibly where they're going.
These are old.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to read them out?
August 3rd, 1933, I almost turned my rough-looking visitor away, which would have been the greatest mistake of my life. Thank what gods there be that he let slip hints of elder knowledge before I showed him the door. Once I gazed into those wolf-grey eyes, I saw the blazing intellect within. He sought me out after hearing me speak in that shabby bookstore about my latest work, because he is in need of my services. Fontanelli was the one that can pass lives shit, or is that
That's Ferdinand
Argus?
Argus.
But although Fontanelli wrote books about the past life stuff that were in Argus's thing, this
Yeah.
might be him meeting Argus.
Oh,
He is a man out of time, an old soul from the golden age of Lomar. The world of today is unrecognizable to him, both physically and culturally, having but recently awakened in the charity ward of Bellevue? Whatever. Even much of his eldritch wisdom is clouded, apparently a result of the great act of will required to traverse the eons and possess the body of Ferdinand Argus.
Oh my god.
Well then, I shall help him navigate this modern era and restore his strength. And then literally 13 months later, he writes the next entry, September 21, 1934. Since returning from the trip to Europe to acquire materials to restore some of my master's faded knowledge, I assume he means Ferdinand, I have been quite busy with both further research and more conventional but necessary matters to implement our plans. I write from a hotel room in the capital after my meeting with Lee Saracen? Whatever. Those who think him simply the secretary to that buffoon Senator Windrip dangerously underestimate him. I hoped to interest him in providing funding for our own plans, but I fear he is unconvinced. He did share some interesting news. Radio sermonizer Bishop Prang is forming a national cadre, the League of Forgotten Men. Saracen also said Windrip is preparing to run for president. I understand the quasi-literature folksiness of Windrip's 0 hour underlined, and its pie-in-the-sky promises have proven absurdly popular, so I suppose he has a real chance. So this is like a competing quack. And then the last entry is another 6 months later.
So still 1934?
No, February 15, 1935. I despair of ever shaping the League of Forgotten Men into a proper organization, one which we can use as the vanguard in our war of conquest. Simpletons like Seabrook mire it in orthodox religion and lazy scientism. Nonetheless, I have identified various members of the Brooklyn chapter who will suit our needs well enough, though they must be kept in the dark for now. This is my curse. In America, the paranormal societies lack discipline and the nationalist groups are too conventional. Sadly, even the Nazis are discarding the occultists who did so much to establish them and their ideology, even banning the Thule Society. I thought it said Turtle Society, and I was like,
That'd be
no!
so much nicer.
It is clear that we must forge our own path.
Ooh,
Okay.
Wow.
that is a big get.
We have a lot to talk about, but we're not there currently.
So he meets Argus, who is an elder soul.
Yeah, from another time.
You got to get this information to us, assuming that Nick doesn't just get himself killed now.
And
And
he's
then-
probably the same person as my Lord Thetnorus from the other letters we found in his stuff.
Maybe.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because that would be his real name. We are not having this conversation right now.
We are
though.
not.
Yeah, so
Alright.
let's go back to this
Yes.
You
vignette.
grab the journals
We'll talk of that
and,
later.
and dart around the side so you can flick through it and quickly read some of
Do we
the...
quickly want to just want to flash those on the
Oh
green
yeah, so
screen?
these are quite cute, actually.
Were these part of the book? Did you print these out? These are adorable. So we've got August. This is like meeting
My-
Ferdinand.
My
Some
favorite
shit
part
about
about
the
this.
League, and then being sad about the League and banning the Thule Society.
Turtle Society.
My favorite part about this is whenever we put stuff up there, I'm still visible on screen.
Yeah, don't pick your nose, man.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright. We'll have to.
Alright,
Yeah, there's a lot in there. We'll have to get to
so
that
as you
later.
dart around to the side,
Yeah.
you head up towards one of the edges and you can see a window that's open, but a couple of cloths are obscuring the interior, and you get towards the edge. So lean up to the side, you can hear a radio station that's currently playing. It's on an ad break for the moment, blasting some sort of cola or something similar, a health tonic. And as you're getting closer, suddenly you kick something at the ground, and as it slams into it, there is a grunt, rapid movement, the curtains are thrown to the side, a very large man is in front of you, and he goes, "Hey, Snooper!" And he tries to grab you. Can you make a fighting brawl?
Oh,
yeah.
motherfucker. Oh,
He's gonna try and
motherfucker.
grab
What
you.
did you...
Remember, thanks to the
Oh, yeah, if you-
the points from earlier, you have a bonus die on your handgun.
Oh yeah, if
Yeah,
I
if you wanna
choose to
whip out a
draw
gun
my
and try
gun.
and
No,
shoot this
no,
guy.
It's the other way
it's not a
around.
bonus
If
die.
if he tries to use his handgun,
Yeah,
and fails, he has
push
to
it.
push.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So if you go for your gun right now, things could get really
Alright,
bad.
I'm fighting brawl. For the viewers at home, I am not good at fighting brawl. I prefer to fight from a distance with a gun. Oh dear.
Hey!
Where did that go? Oh, it's
Onto
just
the
there.
ground.
Okay. The
How are we
good
looking?
news is that the first number is a 10, which means I cannot fail. And in fact, I can get a success too.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
and he actually manages to fail as he goes, "Hey, Snooper!" and tries to swing for you. He catches nothing but curtain as you stumble backwards and away for a moment. You can see his slightly smaller brother, but still sizable, standing up from one of those like lazy boy chairs, which he kicks open and begins to like look around to see where you are.
Now, I got 2 levels of success above
Yeah.
him. Can I grab his arm and twist it around and put handcuffs on him?
He's leaning out the window.
Yeah.
You can, I tell you what, you can get one handcuff on him,
Yep.
and you can be going for the other one if you want to stay for the moment.
Yeah, let's yeah, why
Alright,
not?
the first one
Let's try
clicks
it.
around,
Click
and
it.
we're
So I'm
getting-
holding the other end of the handcuff.
and
It's
we'll-
not attached to anything.
We'll go to Dex order to
Oh,
resolve this, alright?
cool.
Okay, what's your Dex?
65 is my dex.
Okay.
Am I seeing this?
Yeah, you're here.
Oh yeah, he yelled like, "Who's?"
Are we within hearing distance at all?
No,
or are we
unfortunately
way
not. You
far
guys are
away?
ages
I'm
away.
gonna run over.
Alright, what's your dex?
50.
And what was yours, sorry, Tricky?
65.
Alright.
And as the door swings open, the health tonic commercial from the radio blares open, and it says something like, D20 TV Health Tonic is all you need for all of your aches and pains, because D20 TV is just subscribed.
Yeah!
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
At
D20
tier
TV.
2, which is
Thank
more
you.
expensive. Thank you so much.
Alright.
That was a very hard name to wedge in there.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Yeah,
I
on,
was-
on the radio. D20 TV. Crunch. Handcuffs.
Freeze!
Off of my favourite little additions.
Right. My
Jackson
favourite
reading
was
out
when
the
you
names
cast
and
people to
subscribers.
Saturn to join you. Because they joined at the worst time.
Good times.
Alright, the little one is going to go first as he pulls himself out of his chair and he heads towards the side of the door where you hear him pull something out of an umbrella stand or something. You hear
Oh,
rattling
motherfucker.
as presumably an umbrella is pulled.
Oh yeah,
God,
yeah.
yeah.
Because what else would you keep in an umbrella
And then the
shed?
door begins
Not a
to
shotgun.
DeMartino, you're up.
All right, I would like to. All I want to do is attach that other end of
It's going to be
a.
a fighting
Of a
roll.
hand.
There's a fighting maneuver.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Actually, I'll tell you what. If you want, you can use straight dex or sleight of hand.
I would love to use straight decks.
Alright,
if I
go
can.
for straight dex because this is you trying to maneuver it.
And all I gotta do is just get it around something.
Alright, ready?
Yep. Straight decks. Success 1.
Yeah.
Success 1 as well. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I would say. Actually, success 1 would beat it out. You know what? That's, yeah.
Would it be whichever higher decks, right?
No. They meet. He'll
Yeah,
win
yeah.
out. You know, okay. He tries to swing at you as you move in. You dart under and snap around the side. He is now pulled between the two, and his large hands are caught with the
Oh, I got it
bracelets
on his
around.
other hand. I just
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to attach it to like a wall or something.
Oh, which one would you prefer to do?
Wall.
Okay, yeah.
So like he can't move anywhere.
Okay.
He's locked to
you
that
get
location.
it onto one of the. You get it around like the curtain rail above it,
Mm-hmm.
because you sort of leave it and snap it on. As you do, you can see him look at it, and he jerks down, and it shakes.
Okay, mine will last forever. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
it's his turn.
Okay.
Do you want to move?
Oh yeah, I would like to run the fuck back.
All right, so you dart away to start. No, that's all right. All right, he's gonna try and get out. He immediately rips it down.
Oh my
I'm
god.
He's
just
now
giving him a weapon.
Holding the curtain rod as he clambers out the doorway. Edie, what do you want to do? So you can see DeMartino stumbling backwards and darting away. Are you going for your gun?
Alright, let's try to diffuse the tension
Yeah,
first.
hang
What
on,
are you
hang on,
doing?
hang on.
What are you doing?
Diffusing the tension.
Alright, so
Hands
you're-
up and
so
say.
you're just
like,
darting away and
Alright,
putting your
easy
hands
guys,
up.
easy.
The big guy is holding the curtain rod and stumbling out the side, and you see the door swing open as the smaller one, but still large, swings up a shotgun which snaps into place and levels it at DeMartino.
jeez.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna run up and be like, hey, like, what the fuck is going on? Can you guys just chill out? Like,
Alright.
what's happening?
Can you make a intimidate or persuade?
I have neither of those.
They do
Charm.
respect you because they think you got a sweet car.
Yeah,
I think you have a
neither
sweet
of
car
those
at
things.
least, yeah.
I do have a fuckload of luck.
Yeah, go for a persuade test. It's also actually, yeah, go for persuade. It's going to be hard at the very least, but
I have no persuade.
that's what I'm saying. So once you're low, hard doesn't make it that much harder. You've got the luck. You'll,
It's like 32. That still leaves me with like 60.
I
Yeah.
think it's more than Nick. That is a lot though, and all this.
Are you
just before you
doing-
do this, this would not necessarily be like ending. This would be like they pause long enough to get a word or two out. This is not
There's not ending
dissolving the
the fight.
situation necessarily.
You might want to get in the car. The truck.
Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna.
All right.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, so you yell it, and unfortunately your voice is drowned out by the small one who pulls the gun, levels it at you, Nick, and goes, "Freeze, thief!"
I say, I'm frozen.
Alright, you hold yourself there, so you're not doing anything.
Can I do it?
He's not firing.
Yeah.
If you stop, he's not gonna
Yeah,
fire.
I go, alright, we clearly got off on the wrong foot here. There's no need for that kind of stuff.
What are you doing around our house?
We just wanted to talk to you.
About what?
About what?
Couldn't knock on the door like a gentleman?
Well, we yelled out, but no one answered.
Make a
Fast talk?
check.
Yeah. Why did I lie? The one thing I'm bad at. I'm good at intimidating and persuading, but lying I'm shit at, and I always seem to
Yeah.
do it.
Because you're a natural
But
liar.
I did improve my my fast talk in the previous thing because, as I said, I lied a lot.
Oh, it's not that bad. No.
No, it's not that good though.
Alright, as soon as you're there, he goes, no, you didn't. The radio wasn't that loud. You were snooping.
All right, you got me. All right.
Alright, the bigger one pulls his out now, and he pulls the bar out with him, plants it in the ground, and begins to walk towards you. He's holding the bracelets up, and he points at them and goes, "Are you a cop?"
I feel like we should leave, DeMartino.
Edie.
We have what we
Start the
need,
car.
man.
Are you a cop?
I'm backing away.
I didn't think cops were supposed to break laws. You were supposed to be here to help us. That's what we're told. You're going to the car.
Yeah.
Can you make a stealth check to try and get
Yeah.
away? They're pretty focused on Nick. You can roll with advantage or with a single bonus die.
Oh,
I'll
you
take
need
two.
to-
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, let's
that
go and
one.
get 2 of them. Oh man, my stealth isn't very good either. I'm not very good at this game. I don't know what I rolled.
Same roll.
All right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
failed.
yeah. All right, you begin to speak away, and as you do, the other one swings around, and the small one now levels his gun at you, and goes, "Hey, you're with him, aren't you, cargo?" Yeah, no,
Sorry, what did you
he
say?
goes, "Yeah, you kind of go like," and he goes, "No, we recognise you.
Yeah, I know.
Go on, stand next to him then."
All
I don't
right.
have much of a choice.
Go on. And the two of you kind of corral together. The big one's got the bracelet now. He steps right up next to you and holds it right in front of your
Yeah.
in front of your face. He goes, "What's this, copper?"
It's like you know, when you get a girl and you want to have like.
He hits you.
Yeah,
Oh.
fair enough.
All right.
You can try. Oh, I have to.
Oh, yeah,
make a
sorry,
decision
yeah, you
to,
get a chance
like,
to
I get
dodge,
a chance
sorry.
to dodge
Go
slash.
for a dodge.
I would like to dodge.
Yeah.
Always dodge.
Fail.
Ah, yeah, I failed.
All right. Ooh, that's not super high. It's 3 points of damage.
Oof.
Ow.
He slugs you.
Oh, and I was already the worst for wear.
Yeah.
Can you pass me
sorry.
the eraser? So that is 3 of a total of 9. 8. Oh, except we healed
You
last
healed
night,
2,
so I would have healed. So I'll just take 1.
That's right. Sorry. Yeah.
And everyone
rolled
else
from last night.
healed from last night.
Me too.
All right. He slugs you across the face, and as he pulls his fist back, he goes, "What were you doing at our house, copper?" And the other one goes, "Thief."
Look, I just wanted to know where you took those gentlemen the other night.
And as you say that, small one goes, "He said they'd have people looking after him. Look, here they are. People looking." And the other one goes, "Right then. Well, why don't you step over here, copper? We'll take you inside and you can wait. And then you can have a conversation with people who are going to have questions for you."
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't know where.
I think mine's juggled a few different
Yeah.
dialects as well, in fairness. We'll see.
Look, boys, ain't no reason anyone needs to die right now. All right, let's just put the gun down. We can talk about this. I'll come inside. Just let the girl go. I'll answer all questions you gotta answer.
Edie, what are you doing?
I don't think I'm taking any actions per se.
Yeah. So
Can I
you're
make a persuade?
You can.
To
I was just thinking if you were
encourage
just doing
them?
anything at that point.
No.
Yep. All right, go for it.
I don't think I have
Hard.
anything I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I could punch him, but I don't want to do that.
Get your wrench out and whack him.
I will luck that down.
Oof.
Hold on.
What's
Is
your
it-
persuade?
My persuade is 54,
So
and half of that is
26.
26.
So you're going to spend 12 points.
So I spent 12.
27. We were this close. 27.
11 points.
27. So I spent 11 points of luck.
Oof.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it if it means.
Yeah, no.
Edie
All right,
can
all right. They look towards you and they go, "Well, he was the one sneaking," and they go, "Yeah, all right, you can go.
All right. I'm gonna record that down.
If you're running to tell someone, like those folks that were in your car, you tell them we've got him, and if anyone comes, we'll kill him. Off you go." And he sort of gestures with the gun in
Yeah,
the
okay.
distance.
I'm going to go. I don't think saying anything's gonna help anything
Yeah.
right now.
So you turn and begin to head back into town. And last you see is Nick, who stalls in the door for just long enough to get the barrel jammed in your back. Not enough for damage, just pushed into the house. Are you going to attempt anything?
Any funny business?
Anything funny?
Let's Nick stands in funny business.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because as they go, they'll jam in the back, and they gesture up towards the lazy boy and go and sit down.
Oh, the most comfortable chair in the room. I'd hate to do that.
You go and you land into it, and they see your gun, because there's no reason it would be pointedly hidden, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to go, and he leads the big one to grab that. And he moves over, he's going to go through the pockets, he finds the gun, the keys to the handcuffs, and the letter. And as he goes,
Not that.
He goes, ooh, look at this. And he pulls it open, and he looks at it, and you hears him squinting and beginning to sound out the letter. Dear Nicholas, and begins to read it out. He seems to do so with a slightly... First he thinks it's definitely a girlfriend or a wife or something. Because it doesn't say anything to the contrary. And then it mentions Woodstock and the clinic that's there, the Slater Institute for Parapsychological Studies. And he goes, it's your girlfriend, a nutter.
I clench my fists and just give that back.
He goes, is she psychic or stupid?
That's not your concern.
It might be, it's my piece of paper. I need to know what I'm going to do with it. He looks at the others and goes, look, not far from here, is it? You pay her a visit, say hello from you, send her a finger.
Are they relaxing a little bit?
Oh yeah, they think they're under control.
Is the gun...
The big one's got the gun.
Where is the location of both guns?
You are in the lazy boy with the radio to the side that is continuing to blast advertising. There is a door directly in front of you, and then one off to the side that leads into a dingy kitchen filled with old cans and rotting food. The big one is towering over you now. He's got your pistol in one hand, still got the brace on, he hasn't taken off yet, and it's slightly weighed down because the curtain rod is holding it. He's holding the paper aloft, and behind him, the second brother who's got the gun is pointing it at the ground and only one hand on it and looking at his brother as they goad you back and forth.
I'm just gonna wait.
Okay, yep. So you don't do anything. They just belittle you for a while. They do not give it back. And after a while, they are going to move. How much do you betray about how important that letter is to you? Do you want to actually give me a? It's not. It probably will be fast talk to.
I'm probably.
Actually, do you want to go a power test for me? And this is you being able to kind of restrain yourself and push down your ego, or push down whatever feelings you have, so that you don't make the situation worse.
Yep, let's do it. I would like 96.
Okay.
Ooh.
They know it's important to me.
It goes in the fire.
Oh, buddy.
As you go that, he's crying.
Yeah.
I'm still outside. Can I hear anything? That's
Yeah, you
happening
probably
inside?
heard this whole interaction.
Okay, cool. How stealthy would I need to be just to...
Fairly. Do you want to make a stealth check?
Well, I wasn't stealthy enough last time, but now they're distracted.
Oh yeah,
And their cars are just like right here.
you could get to the cars. I will say, you could probably move freely around the house. If you try and go close or anything, you will be hurt.
Can I see inside the window?
Yes, because the curtain rod fell
Okay.
down.
Where is everyone kind of positioned? They all kind of clustered in one spot?
No, the big one, he's probably popped the gun down. The shotgun's on the ground now. He doesn't need it, and he's sitting on a smaller stool, dealing himself with a deck of cards for a game he doesn't understand. The big one's just thrown the letter into the fire. He's still holding the pistol, and the curtain rod's still attached, and he's beginning to go for the keys to undo it. He's not looking at you. You are probably in the smaller one's peripheral vision, but that's it. Nick would be able to see you, but I think you're actually a bit distracted by the letter and everything, and you're kind of you don't notice at the moment.
So if I wanted to get into the car and jumpstart it somehow, would that be a stealth check?
You can get to the car and you can jumpstart it, but there is zero way that car turns on without being heard.
Yeah, I know, that's not a
Actually-
concern of mine.
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, but you can get to it. I mean, you already got the door open previously. Yeah, so...
Cool. How structurally sound is this shack?
Not very.
God.
Yes, I love
It's
this
pretty
plan.
bad.
I don't know. I'm really sorry.
No, I love it. I love it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do
It may help you to know that Art 12 has just donated a helping hand to DeMartino.
Yeah,
It
you
gives
might
him a
need that
bonus
shit.
die on your next
You might
roll.
need that
Oh,
shit.
actually, it's whenever you need it. So you
Well,
have a bonus die
yeah.
to use this session,
This session, which is
which
you know,
might be useful. Thank you, Art.
Helping hand.
Okay.
Thank you are.
closing out.
Yep.
Okay, so
Thank
you
you.
can see me. You can see me. He can
No,
see
he
me, right?
hasn't noticed you
I
yet.
haven't
Not-
noticed
unless you
you
make,
yet.
unless you want to risk making yourself known somehow that they're not going to spot.
Cool. I'm gonna jumpstart the car if
All
I
right.
can.
Yeah. No, please. This is amazing. Can you make an electrical repair check?
Yeah. My electrical repair's not that good.
Oh my goodness! And
Comparatively.
D20 TV has just got DeMartino lucky number 7.
Oh, more luck.
I need that.
Chat comes in.
6 plus 1.
I really need
Chat,
that.
chat comes in, saving
I love
the
this
tea.
chat. This is making the games we don't play on stream worse. I'm like, where's the streamers giving us free? Like, thank you so much.
Okay.
I got
I'm just-
I got 3. All
Yeah,
right,
it's something.
I need every bit I can get.
Oh yeah.
All right. 17 points of luck for a success 1.
Okay. Yeah. You snap out of your. What you were thinking as you can see, because you're focused on fire,
yes,
which
sorry.
is beginning to burn around the letter. It's moved through a chunk of it, but there's a tiny piece of white script. The part that says, like, you know, I know you're a good policeman, I love you, is
Yeah.
beginning to burn as you hear from outside as the truck roars into action. Edie
Yeah. Sorry. No.
accelerates, I presume.
Yes.
And what are you attempting to do?
I am just driving into the shack. I feel like he's gonna figure out what
Yes.
I'm doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. All right, make a drive auto check with a die of advantage because it is a massive target, and you've effectively got the jump on them.
right
Use this
through the
one.
middle?
Hold on. Use this one instead.
Sorry.
Just so you have 2.
Oh, yeah.
2
Oh yeah,
big
you
ones.
can't miss the shack. This is
I'm-
getting as much
Yeah.
effect
Yeah.
as possible.
What? It's just a pile of
And
shit
DeMartino,
shack.
can you make a dodge check?
And they seem like bad
Yep.
dudes.
And I will
And
use
no one
my
likes-
bonus
Oh,
dice.
immediately?
Oh,
Okay.
well, when else am I
No,
going
I agree. 'Cause otherwise you get hit by a car. All right.
Oh, my god!
Oh my, yes.
I rolled a
She rolled
extreme success. I rolled
Oh,
She
two
rolled an
that's-
extreme
that's
success twice. She rolled it twice.
Okay,
Watch me
alright.
roll a fumble twice.
Go for it.
I'm about alright.
Detective.
So,
They're both gonna get.
so Rachael has absolutely nailed her part of this plan. Now we're about to see me absolutely botch it.
You have some luck though.
Oh,
no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Yes. So
What's your dodge?
my dodge is my dodge is 33. So I'm
That's
gonna
fine, you're success 2.
yeah, but I'm gonna luck it down to success 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
I
alright.
I wanna clear this.
How many points of luck was that?
That will be
Yeah, 7.
7 points of luck,
Okay,
which I will
alright, that's
happily
good,
use.
that's good,
This
that's
is
good.
what
Alright,
I want
you
to.
grab, as you accelerate forward, you careen towards the edges, and this thing has a few structural posts around the outskirts on each furthest point, but the center is just sort of like wood splayed across it, nothing in between it to prevent your car careening through the kitchen first, sending bottles and things scattering, then out through the second window, straight into the one that was currently trying to undo the buckles of the handcuffs around his wrist. Nick, seeing you come or hearing it before even looking to act, dives forward, grabbing the piece of paper. Actually, sorry. Do you want the gun or the piece of paper?
Oh no.
Sorry.
Oh.
I should laugh.
Don't make it.
I have of her.
You dive forward, you grab the piece of paper just before it burns the last few lines, and like it's hot, but you shake it and crumple it, and you just slam to the ground as the car, which has been raised up to go over mountain terrain, drives over you, slamming into the first one and careening into the second. I'm gonna roll a con check for both, because I'm gonna put them on, basically, like, this is just to see if they're up at all.
It's amazing you got out of the way with the bonus die from Art.
It was,
and the luck.
and the luck that
And
was
the luck
also
point.
sent.
Yeah. Chat comes in, rallies, and gets you out of it.
The big one gets caught by the bull bars across the front and slammed into the doors behind. You can see blood spurt out from his teeth, and they're sort of broken, and he's stunned. The gun in his grip goes flying, and the curtain rod that's still attached is sort of like ground under the wheels, wrenching his arm down with it and pulling him under the car. As it goes over, twists, and you hear a sickening crunch as a good chunk of his arm is probably removed. The younger one, the blow slightly lessened by his brother's breaking of it, is hit by it again, slammed out of the chair and into the back wall, where he cracks his head and hits the ground unmoving. From underneath the car, though, the one whose arm has been ripped off is still there. And he sort of blinks, wildly shocked. You have a moment to act. What do you want to do?
Okay.
I'm still.
You're in the car.
I guess we're
So
just stopped.
wait, which one was this gun?
The big one. The one that took the letter and burnt it. And has your gun. Actually, the gun's probably scattered slightly to the ground.
I walk over.
Oh, you're under the car
Yeah.
with him. You're right next to him.
I crawl over to him. I look him dead in the eye. And I say, serve and protect. And I administer first aid.
Oh!
Well, I will
That's not
attempt
where I
to.
went there. No, alright, okay, make a first aid check. Edie, you open the window and look down, you can see the guy crawling over as Nick gets over his sort of bandage over his arm. He is badly
Pulling off like
wounded.
my coat and to
To do so, what do you want to do?
I just get out of the car. Is there something I can do to like? There's like, it's like been hot wired. Is there something I can do to like basically disable it? Like I just don't.
So they can't get it anywhere?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you hover, you just put your hand and wrench out a number of wires. That's well within your capacity. You just
okay.
rip them out. This car's been starting for a while, and it's in the middle of the living room.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, awesome. How'd you go?
No, I'm not trained in first aid. I failed.
He's going to take a swing at you as you try to and everything, because he's still there, but he's incapable of hitting anything at this point. He swings out. It's more just like a get off. And he's shocked at what's happened. He's bewildered, and he sees his brother, and he begins to try and drag towards him. He goes, as he goes, Timmy! And trying to get to the brother.
Could knock him out with his gun.
You could do that. We also need to leave.
How bad is it?
He's probably not going to die.
Okay.
But he's never getting that arm back.
Oh, yeah.
And the brother, from what it looks like, he'd probably broken a few bones. Look, again, you're not an expert. There's an all chance, internal bleeding and a number of other things, but you reckon he's probably taken a few hits in his life. The brother's probably just knocked out.
Okay. I go for my gun again. Is there an issue there?
Nearby.
I'll do like a roll out from underneath the thing and stand up and like look at myself and be like, not even a scratch. And like, let's go. Come on. No need to stick around here.
There's another car.
There is.
How quickly could I feasibly?
I think
steal
you've done
that
it
shit?
once. I think that's well within your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can take
We're
it.
getting in the other car and we're leaving.
Do you reckon these trucks are better for climbing?
They've literally just done it.
Yeah.
They've definitely done it. Your car is nicer. It's one that Edie's done. These ones have more storage space. This gives you two. You can bring a ton of gear now.
Also, it means that they can't follow us and they can't.
Oh
track
yeah,
us.
yeah. Let's take this car. They can't. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
All right.
Yeah,
And as
let's
you begin
load
to
in.
drive down the street, you head to where the other two are waiting for you.
With a
Get in,
pile of
Lucas.
supplies.
Get in, Lucas.
yeah, because you guys are out the front with all your stuff and whatever. As you guys like swing around the corner, the car skids a couple times. A bunch of cans fall out from the back. And as it drives towards your front, Nick, who is somehow unharmed, he's got blood over him, bits of charred sort of soot and things. And Edie has a slightly wild expression. And oh no, it's not this car. I was gonna say like splattered across the front, but no, this one's all right.
I feel like we have had very different mornings.
I'm gonna fumble around. I'm gonna pull out Nick's flask, which we confiscated from him earlier, and take a swig from it, and then toss it back to you and start loading stuff up into the car.
All right.
Let's go.
And then I think with the car being loaded, the second one being swung around, and the intent to, I believe, travel to Woodstock.
Yes.
Or possibly up
To flee to Woodstock, I think is the term.
But the police...
I don't think we've ever left a
Well,
location that hasn't been fleeing.
Oh, no.
We have been running
That's
away.
another tally for the Vandervan Investigators crime started list. And one less for
And
the...
your lawyers are going to be like, our client was completely innocent. He was just in the Sauganese where there was
cover.
vicious assault.
Well, the good news is I don't think these guys will cooperate with police, so I think
they
we're
don't
okay.
like cops. Everyone hates them.
Let's
We
just
can
go.
claim
Let's just
that
go.
They're racist.
They're
crazy.
We can just
they have no
sort of
like we
looking
should-
like torn until you remind me that they're racist, and I'm kind of like, oh.
We did
Yeah,
steal
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
throw it up.
Did steal one of their cars.
Did
Oh,
you
we'll
keep
deal with that later.
your handgun or did you lose it?
Yeah, no, I grabbed
He
it.
grabbed it.
Oh,
He
okay.
grabbed it when he was
Very
down
good.
there.
Yeah,
Alright.
otherwise they'd be like, whose handgun is this?
Why is
got
it a
serial
cop
number.
gun? Alright, so I think we will leave it there for next week.
Can I just confirm something with
Yeah.
you? Yeah. Was there some talk of a pass or an off trail from Mink Hollow Road on this map up to,
If you want to go off country.
and that would be like a shortcut.
Yes.
Well, we have the car that can do it now.
Well,
you can
no,
drive
the
to a
car
certain
didn't. The
point.
car didn't do Devil's Pass. It got them to Devil's Pass, and they hiked it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. We
So
want to
I mean,
walk.
but if you had a good driver and someone capable of some weird engineering to upgrade, like you could feasibly get a car.
And that
that's
would-
within your wheelhouse.
It would
literally.
also be a shortcut,
Yeah.
which we need because they're a week
Week or
ahead of
so,
us.
yeah. Anyway, we'll leave the
We'll
planning
discuss
for next
that
time,
next
and
time.
we'll
And
figure
just-
out what the go is. Thank
just-
you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. And I think the point system thing was cool when it came in.
I think
it
through.
was
Yeah,
very
it was
useful.
right
Yeah.
at
I,
the
for
end.
one, thought it was a great system that we should incorporate into every game.
Thank you, Chad.
So no, that was really cool. Unfortunately, there is no Mike Mason stream tomorrow.
What?
They're on a 1-week break, but they'll be back shortly. This video will be up on YouTube on Thursday. Otherwise, we'll see all of you next week.
Mhm.
Thanks for joining.
Looking forward to it.
See you
Slam.
soon.